That's what they do at Senova Credit Union. Their DOG, you know, Director of Greetings, is a St. Bernard who welcomes all members.
Wow, can he schedule appointments too?
No need. At Senova, you don't need an appointment, ever. Drop by whenever works for you. Bank brighter with Senova Credit Union at one of their 11 branches throughout Manitoba, with convenient 7 days a week service in Winnipeg.
The rebates are back! The rebates are back!
What?
The rebates from Reliance Superior Heating and Air Conditioning are back, and I'm not missing out on the great savings this year.
The rebates from Reliance are back by popular demand. Right now, when you buy a high-efficiency Lennox furnace and air conditioner from Reliance, you get $2,000 back in rebates. Call Reliance Superior Heating and Air Conditioning now at 204-697-5666 or hurry over to RelianceSuperior.ca today. Some conditions apply.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball.
This is outfielder Donnie Webb, and you're listening to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Jewel 101.
The Dugout Show is brought to you by Archangel Fireworks, excellence in pyrotechnics. Winnipeg Goldeyes play Game 3 of a 4-game series tonight against the Wichita Wingnuts at Shaw Park. Right now we're joined by Goldeyes manager Rick Forney, and get your thoughts. A good baseball game there last night to hold the lead there for most of the evening. A good run there in the bottom half of the ninth. They come away 6-5.
Yeah, good theater last night. It was a lot of action in a baseball game. Just unfortunately for us, so they did a little bit more to help themselves win a baseball game than we did. Just you know, Jackie battled yesterday for 7 innings and gave us a good chance. Just 1 or 2 pitches away from really making some things happen in a positive direction yesterday. He really had a good start. Other than the 4th inning, wasn't able to close that inning. They were able to get a couple big hits to extend the inning and produce some offense. We made an error on top of it that allowed an extra run. And ultimately that kind of came back to bite us in the rear when you lose a 1-run game, and you hate for it to be on a mistake like that. But we still had a lead with 6 outs left to go, and we weren't able to preserve that either. Wound up giving up a run in both the 8th and the 9th inning. And when you're playing good teams like Wichita, there's some depth in that lineup. There's a lot of speed on that team, so you got to be able to close innings out with 2 outs. That's for sure, because even if it's a 2-out walk or a 2-out blue pit, they have enough team speed throughout their lineup that they're going to be able to get that guy in the scoring position. So you need to really make good pitches against that team. You got to play sound defense, and you know, we broke a little bit, unfortunately. We had opportunities to score some runs. Some guys swung the bat really well yesterday. We just kind of ran into a tough matchup in the 9th inning there. We had a golden opportunity to not only tie a game but come away with a win, but unfortunately they got an animal on the back end of that bullpen that's got 93, 97 in his holster, and when you see something like that coming out there, it's difficult for any hitter at this level to be able to gear up to catch up to that. And you know, Navarez made 6 really good pitches to get 2 good hitters out to close the game out.
You talked about Matt Jackson. The guys are doing a great job here, stepping up with the shorter rotation, and he gets it. I mean, you said you wanted to get 6. He ended up getting you 7 innings there last night.
Yeah, I mean, he gave us plenty enough. I mean, he hasn't really had any deep outings over the last 3 starts. It's been 5 or 6 innings because he's ran into a little bit of trouble throughout the course of that start. That's kind of cut his start short. So he was probably as fresh as he would be if he was given the full 4 days off. And kind of the same thing's happening with Hollinsworth. He got the rain shortened outing in Sioux City the last time out. So, you know, I expect him to be just fine going out there today.
Talking with Goldeyes manager Rick Forney on the Dugout Show. The Goldeyes and Wingnuts will play Game 3 of their 4-game series tonight at Shaw Park. And obviously, you want Mazzola to get back into the lineup, but you've had a nice dynamic here these last couple of games with Bond, Webb, and Kuhn 1, 2, 3 at the top of the order.
Well, we got some guys that are getting on base for us throughout the course of the year and have the ability to run the bases pretty well. So, you know, I'm probably going to DH Maz today, but I'm not going to stick him in the 2-hole. I'll put him down in the order.
You faced Matt Navarez there last night, but you execute well at the bottom of the lineup, getting the guys in base. And Sam Kimmel did a really good job. They're getting a couple bunts down in the game last night.
Yeah, he did. He's done a pretty good job for us all year getting those bunts down. I mean, the whole inning led off with you know, obviously Blackwood battling with a 2-strike count to get that base hit through the middle of the field to get us started, and then Sam getting a good bunt down, and give him credit for hustling down the line right there and forcing him into a bad throw that really set it up for a potential big night for us. You know, great way to finish a ball game. And we got first and second, nobody out, so it's a no-brainer. You're going to bunt right there. And Pineda, it's not easy when the first ball comes up and in at your face to be able to, hang your head out over the plate the next pitch to be able to execute the bunt. He got that bunt down and had a great situation, second and third. They made the right choice by not pitching the Bond. I certainly wouldn't have pitched the Bonds, especially with the game-winning run already in scoring position. If you walk Bond, you're one pitch away from a double play, the game being over. So obviously when they loaded the bases up, we got Webb and Kuhn. You're feeling pretty good about that situation. And just unfortunately, they just, like I said, they ran into a guy down there that's got a little more than we're ready to handle.
You mentioned Ryan Pineda comes up with a good game, gets that bunt down in the ninth, and also big two-run homer early in the ball game.
Yeah, they got he got the bunt down, which was important, but he also, the two-run home run, the guy threw him a first pitch slider to get ahead of him with a man at third base. Obviously, they're trying to get him to swing at something, expand the zone. I think the biggest mistake that Clip made right there was throwing the 0-1 slider in the strike zone. If he'd have thrown it out of the zone, who knows how that whole at-bat would have turned out, but he sped his bat up in the strike zone with the same pitch in poor location, and Ryan did a hell of a job getting the barrel to it and lifting it. I wasn't sure that it was going to be a home run when he hit it, but hell of an at-bat right there.
And you guys battle there in the ninth inning. Even when they tied it there with the 3 runs there in the fifth, you guys come right back and execute well, take advantage of the infield single wild pitch. Casey gets him over and Reggie with a sac fly.
Yeah, it's 2 great at-bats by Casey, getting a deep fly ball to right field to get him moving the runner from second to third, and then they threw an 0-1 fastball in the middle of the plate to Reggie, and he was able to hit the line drive to deep left field to produce that 5th run that put us back in the lead. Just a great inning of execution right there.
So you have Ethan Hollingsworth on the mound here tonight, coming off a very strong start. Unfortunately cut short due to the rain, but just 1 earned run there over 4 innings.
Yeah, need him to be good, and you got to try to minimize damage, keep guys off the bases. They like to run, so Ethan's going to have to do a good job of holding runners, and we may have to slow the game up a lot and pick over a little bit more than we like to, maybe, and have to pitch out every once in a while. But, just need Ethan to be real good, especially at the start of each inning.
All right, Rick, great job as always. Appreciate the time. Good luck here tonight.
All right, thanks, man.
That was Winnipeg Goldeyes manager Rick Forney joining us on the Dugout Show, brought to you by Archangel Fireworks. We'll take a quick break and come back with a closer look at tonight's starting pitchers with On the Rubber coming up after this on Jewel 101.
Stay informed on all the latest news and entertainment with the Winnipeg Free Press. The Winnipeg Free Press gives you the most in-depth local, national, and international news coverage, unrivaled coverage of the arts, and the best in sports. And as the winner of the Canadian Journalism Foundation's 2013 Excellence in Journalism Award, when someone asks,
"Where'd you hear that?"
and you answer,
"I read it in the Free Press,"
you can always count on having the full story. The Winnipeg Free Press, there for you.
The new Jewel 101 is your official source for everything Winnipeg Goldeyes.
Tune in as we broadcast the games on air this baseball season. Listen live online at jewel101.com.
And stay tuned for station exclusives, contests, and giveaways, including your chance to see the Winnipeg Goldeyes live in action.
Jewel 101, the official radio home of the Winnipeg Goldeyes.
For more Goldeyes news, schedules, and information, check out the all-new jewel101.com.
Luxury, convenience, comfort. Have it all with Premier Executive Suites. For business travelers who are always on the move, Premier Executive Suites is your home away from home. You can relax in your comfortable living room, grab a midnight snack in your complete kitchen, and do that last-minute load of laundry with your handy in-suite washer and dryer. Book your extended stay in Winnipeg with Premier Executive Suites. Visit premiersuites.com to make your booking today. Take more of your life with you with Premier Executive Suites.
Hi, this is Ivan Saper, owner of Saper Agencies. We offer personal, business, automobile, and travel health insurance. But it's how we sell that makes us different. We strive to remain on the cutting edge of technology and product innovations. We promise you quick, efficient, and effective solutions and 100% satisfaction. See us today, and we'll find you the right solution at the right price. Remember, your best insurance policy is our experience.
Saper Agencies, 2188 McPhillips. Call 694-6787.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball.
This is left-hand pitcher Brendan Lafferty, and you're listening to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Jewel 101.
Back here at Shaw Park in the Rona pregame show ride to the ballpark on the rubber. It's brought to you by Cal Tire with 6 convenient locations in the Capital Region. We're more than just tires. Cal Tire, true service. The Goldeyes go on the right-hander Ethan Hollingsworth, 6-0 on the year with a 3.83 ERA. 56 and a third innings pitched, 58 hits allowed, 17 walks, 25 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .271 against Ethan Hollingsworth, who pitched on Tuesday against Sioux City. Allowed 1 earned run on 3 hits in 4 innings, took a no decision due to circumstance more than anything else. That game was suspended due to rain in the top half of the 5th at Lewis and Clark Park. Frank Del Valle, a Cuban-born left-hander, 24 years old, will pitch for the Wingnuts. He'll make his 4th start of the year, 0-1, an ERA of 2.16, 16 and 2/3 innings, 12 hits, 10 walks allowed, 16 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .194. Del Valle last pitched on Sunday against the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks. He allowed 1 earned run and 6 hits, walking 4 and struck out a season-high 7 batters over 6 innings of work. Del Valle, former member of the Chicago Cubs organization. So Ethan Hollingsworth and Frank Del Valle, tonight's starting pitchers. We'll take a quick break and come back with the starting lineups and first pitch, Game 3 of this 4-game series between Winnipeg and Wichita, coming up after this on Jewel 101.
Thanks for listening to the Winnipeg Goldeyes Rona pregame show ride to the ballpark. Stay tuned. The game is coming up next on Jewel 101.
We all know that money doesn't grow on trees, but it sure grows in our branches. At Steinbach Credit Union, you get a great interest rate on any of our savings accounts, right from $1. That's right, no minimum balance here. Add to that a complete range of financial products and our unparalleled service, and that could put a smile on anyone's face. So switch to SCU today and laugh all the way from the bank. Steinbach Credit Union, taking care of the world's most important money, yours.
Can you guess who's top dog in the alley? Know who I'm talking about? I'll give you a clue. Silver trucks and green bins. That's right, Johnson Waste Management. Johnson Waste Management has been recognized as the top dog in the garbage business. Not 5, not 6, not 7, but 8 years in a row. Not bad for a locally owned family-run business in a dog-eat-dog world. Johnson Waste Management, doing their best to be the very best.
This is Goldeyes Baseball on 100.7 CFJL, Jewel 101, Winnipeg.
Summer is the season for long family road trips.
Are we there yet?
And if you want to make it there, it's time to go to Cal Tire. Whether you come in for a tire rotation, an alignment, or even a basic oil service, all your visits come with a free mechanical inspection. Get your vehicle ready for high temperatures and heavy use. Talk to Cal at any one of 5 convenient Winnipeg locations.
To some, he is a hero. To others, merely heroic. But to us, he's a Pools Hall of Famer. Raised on highlights and minor league stats, he played his game cards like he played Division 12 slow pitch. To win. Home team? Check. Visiting team? Check. Champion? Check. Be a legend with Sports Select. Pools players won over $7 million last year. Pick the winning teams today at your lottery retailer. Remember, keep it a game.
It's time for Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on the crystal clear FM airwaves of Jewel 101. Now, let's go to the ballpark for tonight's game. Here's Steve Schuster.
From Shaw Park in Winnipeg, Manitoba, you're listening to Goldeyes Baseball, presented by MTS on Jewel 101. Tonight is Game 3 of a 4-game series between the Wichita Wingnuts and your Winnipeg Goldeyes. Tonight's starting pitchers for the Wingnuts, left-hander Frank Del Valle, and for the Goldeyes, right-hander Ethan Hollingsworth. Well, hi again, everyone, and thanks for tuning in. The Goldeyes dropped last night's contest by a final of 6-5 with the Wingnuts scoring single runs in the 8th and 9th. Winnipeg made a nice run in the bottom half against hard-throwing closer Matt Navarez, ultimately striking the tying and winning runs in scoring position. Tonight, the Goldeyes sent Ethan Hollingsworth and his 6-0 record to the mound, trying to get back into this 4-game series and give themselves a chance at a split tomorrow afternoon. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineup for the Wichita Wingnuts, managed by Kevin Hooper, who is in his 6th season. Ryan Corey is the shortstop and leading off. Jake Cahalilio is at second base and batting second. David Espinoza is the first baseman hitting third. Brent Cleveland is in center field and batting cleanup. Carlo Testa is the DH hitting fifth. Chris McClendon is at third base hitting sixth. Brent Dean is the catcher hitting seventh. David Amberson is the right fielder hitting eighth. And Jake Lucci is in left field and batting ninth. The starting lineup is brought to you by Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Fans, when you visit the Sky Suite level at Shaw Park, make sure to stop and relax in one of 3 Lazy Boy comfort zones. Each Lazy Boy comfort zone is fully furnished with the latest Lazy Boy sofas, love seats, coffee tables, and their world-famous recliners. The Winnipeg Goldeyes would like to thank Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries, located at 1425 Ellis Avenue, for their support. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries, live life comfortably. On the mound this evening for the Winnipeg Goldeyes, right-hander Ethan Hollingsworth, 9 starts and 1 relief appearance this season. He's 6-0 with an ERA of 3.83, 56 1/3 innings of work, 58 hits allowed, just 17 walks, 25 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .271 against Ethan Hollingsworth this season. Ryan Corey, Jake Cahalilio, and David Espinoza to start things off in the top half of the first. Corey, a right-hand batter, and drove in the game-winning run last night. The first pitch of the ball game, a fastball taken low and inside, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Tonight's opening pitch, right on time at 6:05 p.m., brought to you by Best Western Plus. The 1-0 pitch, sinker over the inside corner, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. The Best Western Plus Winnipeg Airport Hotel is Winnipeg's premier event venue. Book your next corporate event, wedding, or conference at the Best Western Plus Winnipeg Airport Hotel. Corey, a right-hand batter, he stands back in the box. Here's the 1-1 from Hollingsworth. Line shot deep down the left field line. This ball drops in foul. Missed an extra base hit by about a foot deep down the left field line, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Last night in the top of the ninth, with the score tied at 5, David Amberson, the Wingnuts right fielder, led off with a double. He was sacrificed to third by left fielder Jake Lucci. That brought Ryan Corey to the plate, facing Goldeyes relief pitcher Chris Kissick. Kissick got ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes, and he made a good pitch. He got a splitter down low around the shoe tops of Corey, but Corey was able to reach down and pulled it just between third and short with the infield drawn in. It drove in Amberson, and Wichita survived the Goldeyes rally in the bottom of the ninth and won the game 6-5. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Corey, and it's on the outside corner. Strike 3 called. Nice pitch by Ethan Hollingsworth. Looked like a slider that broke over the outside corner, and Hollingsworth retires Ryan Corey to start tonight's game. That first strikeout is brought to you by Manitoba Hydro. Manitoba Hydro reminds you to be safe around electricity. 1 strike and you're out. Here's Jake Cahalilio, the second baseman. Cahalilio, 12th in the league in batting at .331, 7 homers, and he's tied for 6th in the league with 56 runs batted in. Right-hand batter with a wide-open stance. Hollingsworth delivers. It foul off his hands to the right side, rolling in front of Wichita's dugout, and the count is 0-1. In his last 9 games, Cahalilio 18 of 40, a .450 average, 11 runs scored, 3 homers, and 10 driven in. Bases empty, 1 out, just underway, top of the first. The pitch, sinker, misses just outside and low, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Game 3 of this 4-game series. The finale scheduled for tomorrow afternoon at 1:35. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swinging a high pop-up right side. Casey Harther drifting back. He steps in a foul ground. Moving forward now, reaches up and makes the catch. Cahalilio retired on the foul pop-up caught by Casey Harther. Defensively tonight for the Winnipeg Goldeyes, Casey Harther, you heard us at first base. Brock Bond is at second. Jake Blackwood at third base. Tyler Kuhn is the shortstop. Donnie Webb is in left field. Reggie Abercrombie in center. Ryan Pineda is playing right field. And Luis Allen behind the plate for the right-hander Ethan Hollingsworth, 6'2", 200 pounds even, a 27-year-old right-hander from Joliet, Illinois. Here's David Espinoza, switch hitter from the left side. First pitch, he swings and pops it up foul to the left, and the count is 0-1. Josh Mazzola is back in the starting lineup tonight. Big lift for the Winnipeg Goldeyes. Mazzola had missed the last 2+ games. Mazzola will be the DH tonight, and he is batting 6th in the order. 2 outs, nobody on. We're in the top half of the first, and a gorgeous evening for baseball at Shaw Park. Hollingsworth winds, and the 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses inside, and it's 1-1 strike. And the switch hitter David Espinoza drove in a couple of runs last night. He got Wichita on the board with a solo homer, and then had a base hit that produced 2 runs, one of which was unearned when the Wingnuts rallied for 3 in the top of the 5th. The 1-1 pitch, high fly ball, foul the other way, came off his hands. That'll land about halfway into the seats, and the count is 1-2 strikes on David Espinoza. 28 degrees Celsius, 82 Fahrenheit, humidity of 54%, not nearly as muggy as it was during last night's game. Winds of 16 kilometers per hour coming out of the north. 2 outs, nobody on base. Espinoza behind 1-2. Hollingsworth winds, now the pitch. Pulling the ground foul to the right, wrapped around in a curveball, and it's still 1-2 strikes. On deck is Brent Cleveland, who had the big game-tying homer down the left field line at the top of the 8th last night. Skies are mostly clear, and still some time to come on down to Shaw Park and catch most of Game 3 of this 4-game series. Outfield a step deep and straightaway. Another 1-2 from Hollingsworth. Line drive hit in the air to right, fairly deep, playable for Pineda, back to his left, makes the catch, and Ethan Hollingsworth has a 1-2-3, top of the first inning. Nothing across for Wichita, middle of the first at Shaw Park. It's the Wingnuts nothing, and the Goldeyes coming to bat on Jewel 101.
At MTS, we know there are lots of things that can keep you awake at night. But worrying about internet overage charges shouldn't be one of them. With MTS, you get unlimited internet on all our personal plans. So you never have to think about how much data you're using and how much it's going to cost you. Surf, download, and stream all you want for as low as $20 a month for the first 3 months and rest easy. Conditions apply. Visit your nearest MTS Connect store for details.
The Goldeyes Field of Dreams Foundation supports children's charities in Manitoba. I'm Tony Fletcher, Foundation President, urging you to get involved with the Fillmore Riley Case for Kids program by pledging a dollar amount per Goldeyes strikeout. Or show your support by picking up a Goldeyes license plate from your local auto pack dealer. The foundation receives $30 from each one sold. Thanks to you, the Field of Dreams Foundation has donated more than $1.6 million to children's charities since 1995.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball.
This is Ethan Hollingsworth, and you're listening to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Jewel 101.
No score, bottom half of the first inning at Shaw Park. We'll take a look at tonight's starting lineup for the Winnipeg Goldeyes, managed by Rick Forney, who is in his 9th year. Brock Bond is the second baseman and leading off. Donnie Webb is in left field and batting second. Tyler Kuhn is at shortstop hitting third. Casey Harther is the first baseman and batting cleanup. Reggie Abercrombie is in center field hitting fifth. Josh Mazzola back in the lineup is the DH and hitting 6th. Jake Blackwood is at third base batting 7th. Luis Allen is the catcher hitting 8th. And Ryan Pineda is in right field and batting 9th. On the mound tonight for the Wichita Wingnuts, 24-year-old left-hander Frank Del Valle makes his 4th start of the year. He's came out of the bullpen one time. A record of 0-1 with a 2.16 ERA, 16 2/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 12 hits. He has walked 10, but he's also struck out 16 in those 16 2/3 innings. Opponents hitting just 194 against Frank Del Valle in his brief time with the Wichita Wingnuts. He was signed by Kevin Hooper on July 20th this year after spending the last 3 seasons in the Chicago Cubs organization. Brock Bond hitting .345, a switch hitter from the right side. Takes a fastball just high and away. It's 1-0 strikes. Bond no homers and 16 runs batted in. Crowds the plate from the right, hitting .360 against lefties with the Goldeyes, 9 for 25. Fastball misses low and inside, and it's now 2 strikes. Bond in 8 professional seasons, a career .304 hitter. against left-handers. The Goldeyes have dominated lefties throughout this 2014 season. 2-0 the count on Brock Bond. Del Valle delivers. Fastball letter high on the outside half. And the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Winnipeg, when facing a left-handed starting pitcher, 12-2 on the year. And they are hitting .338 against lefties overall. 2-1 on Bond, the Goldeyes second baseman. Here's the pitch, swinging a bouncer towards third, fielded by McClendon. He steps and fires to first in time to get Bond, and there's 1 away in the bottom half of the first inning. Defensively tonight for the Wichita Wingnuts, David Espinoza is at first base. Jake Cahaly-Leo is at second. Chris McClendon is at third base. Ryan Corey is the shortstop. Jake Lucci is in left field. Brent Cleveland is in center. David Amberson in right field, and Brent Dean does the catching for the left-hander Frank Del Valle. Here's Donnie Webb, another switch hitter from the right side of the plate. Del Valle delivers. Fastball taken high. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Donnie Webb hitting .296 this season, 10 homers and 46 runs batted in. Still leads the league with 30 stolen bases. The pitch, fastball that catches the inside corner at some late movement, 86 miles an hour on the Shaw Park radar gun. 1-1 on Donnie Webb, hitting .379 against lefties this year. No score, bottom of the first. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball misses outside, and it's now 2-1. Donnie Webb standing a few inches up in the box. Tyler Kuhn, a left-hand batter, waits on deck. Another guy who's had great numbers against lefties this season. The 2-1 pitch. Little looper right side, moving back into his left, Espinoza in a foul ground. Espinoza makes the catch. And there's 2 away in the bottom half of the first. The umpires tonight, Joe Stegner is behind the plate. Bobby Feaster is at first, and Nick Gonzalez is at third base. Winnipeg entering tonight with a record of 47-31. Following last night's loss, they still lead the St. Paul Saints by 2 games in the North Division. And they lead the Saints by 1 game in the loss column. The Saints have a game in hand right now on the Winnipeg Goldeyes. Tyler Kuhn, a left-hand batter, takes a fastball, called strike at the knees. And it's 0-1. Kuhn 5th in the league in hitting at .352, 4 homers and 39 runs batted in. Lefty against lefty. The 0-1 pitch, fastball, taken just high, and it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Again clocked at 86 miles an hour. A 2-seamer from Frank Del Valle. Not a big guy, 5'11", 200 pounds. A 24-year-old native from La Habana, Cuba. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and Kuhn takes high and inside, moves off the plate. It's now 2 balls and 1 strike. Tyler Kuhn this year is 26 out of 60 against left-hand pitching, a .433 average. And he's a lifetime .322 hitter against left-hand pitchers in 7 pro seasons. Feet spread wide apart, a slightly open stance. And the 2-1 pitch. High fly ball in the air to center, fairly deep, drifting back is Cleveland. He has room in front of the track, and Cleveland makes a 2-handed catch to retire the side. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on base. End of 1 here in downtown Winnipeg. It's the Goldeyes 0 and the Wingnuts 0 on Jewel 101.
CIBC and the Winnipeg Goldeyes have partnered to fight cancer. On Sunday, October 5th, CIBC and Goldeyes employees, friends, and family will be running in communities across Canada for a future without breast cancer. Shaw Park, the home of the Winnipeg Goldeyes, will be your local run site for the Canadian Breast Cancer Foundation CIBC Run for the Cure. For more information, to register to run or make a donation, go to CIBC.com. Let's run for a future without breast cancer. Join in Sunday, October 5th at Shaw Park.
Here's the pitch, and it's a grand slam! Here they come. Cans, juice boxes, glass and plastic bottles, into the bin!
The Winnipeg Goldeyes and Recycle Everywhere want you to swing for the fences and recycle all your empty beverage containers. They're full of potential and have thousands of uses beyond the landfill. Step up to the plate and pitch your drink containers into a recycling bin. Whether you're at home, work, school, or the ballpark, remember to recycle everywhere.
Support your own, the Goldeyes. And Fort Garry Brewing. Located right here in Winnipeg, Fort Garry Brewing is Manitoba's #1 brewery, crafting a full spectrum of delicious beers and ales, including the award-winning Fort Garry Dark and the fan-favorite Fort Garry Pale, both of which are available at Shaw Park, so cheer on the home team. Fort Garry Brewing, Manitoba made, Manitoba's own.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball.
This is Nick Hernandez, and you're listening to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Jewel 101.
Help support the Winnipeg Goldeyes Field of Dreams Foundation by purchasing a Path of Dreams sidewalk brick, and your name will go down in history. Literally. Personalized bricks located on the walkway to Shaw Park are a unique way to honor loved ones, promote businesses and organizations, or celebrate a special event. For more information on how to purchase your Path of Dreams sidewalk brick, call the Goldeyes office at 982-BASE. No score top half of the second. Brent Cleveland, Carlo Testa, and Chris McClendon, the schedule hitters against right-hander Ethan Hollingsworth. Both Hollingsworth and Frank Del Valle at a 1-2-3 first. Cleveland, a right-handed batter at the big homer last night at the top of the 8th that tied the game at 5. First pitch, and it's a slider over the outside corner for a strike. The count is 0-1. Cleveland 4th in the league in batting at .357, tied for 6th with 14 homers, and he is now 2nd with 62 runs batted in, trailing Travis Denker by 8 runs batted in for the league lead. The 0-1 pitch, slider misses low and away, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Cleveland was able to hit a fastball just fair down the left field line with 1 out in the top of the 8th, and that would tie the score at 5 before the Wingnuts scratched out the eventual winning run in the top of the 9th. He's now homered in 6 of his last 11 games with 15 driven in during that stretch. The 1-1 pitch. Curveball misses just outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Cleveland, a former second-round draft pick of the Detroit Tigers in 2002. Out of Westwood High School in his hometown of Austin, Texas. Still lives in Austin during the offseason. The 2-1 pitch swung and popped up foul behind the plate. And that goes over the roof at Shaw Park. The count is 2-2 on Brent Cleveland. Carlo Testa, a left-hand batter, is waiting on deck. The Wingnuts regular catcher Chris McMurray out of the lineup for a second straight game. We're scoreless in the top half of the second. Wingnuts now have an 11-game lead over the Laredo Lemurs in the American Association South. Breaking ball taken outside and low. Cleveland checked his swing, and it's now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Cleveland also tied for 9th in the league in walks with 40, and he has only struck out 49 times on the year. The payoff pitch, swinging a high fly ball center field. Reggie Abercrombie moving in. Out goes Tyler Kuhn, the shortstop, and Kuhn will make the catch on the outfield grass. There's 1 away in the top half of the second inning. Hey fans, next time you're at a Goldeyes game, bring along a non-perishable food item for donation to Winnipeg Harvest. Collection bins are located at every ballpark entrance. Peek in the market, and the Goldeyes encourage all listeners to help those in need. Carlo Testa stepping to the plate, a left-hand batter, DHing once again in this 4-game series. He's 11th in the league in batting at .333, and he takes a fastball over the outside corner from Ethan Hollingsworth for strike 1. Testa with 7 homers and 45 runs batted in. He hit a 3-run homer in the opening frame in the series opener on Thursday. Changeup just outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Ethan Hollingsworth, his final line Tuesday against the Sioux City Explorers. 4 innings, 2 runs, only 1 earned. On 3 hits, he walked 1 and struck out 3. Would take a no decision when the game was suspended in the top half of the 5th. Big swing and a miss at a high fastball. Hollingsworth threw it by him, and it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chris McClendon, another left-hand batter, is waiting on deck. 0-0 top of the second. Hollingsworth, 27 years old, from Joliet, Illinois, lives in Kalamazoo, Michigan in the offseason. That game would resume on Wednesday evening. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball high and inside, 2-2. Gabe Aguilar with those scoreless ball over the 5th and 6th. And then Brandon Lafferty threw 3 perfect innings over the 7th, 8th, and 9th to pick up the save. And the Goldeyes won at 6-2. And then they won 10-0 in the nightcap to split the 4-game set. Allen setting up in. 2-2 pitch, hit in the air to center field. Over to his right is Abercrombie, now moving forward, and Abercrombie makes the one-handed grab. 2 up and 2 set aside by Ethan Hollingsworth in the top half of the second. Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball is brought to you by MTS. Get unlimited internet in Manitoba on all your devices only with MTS. Chris McClendon stepping to the plate, hitting .274, 2 home runs, and 34 runs batted in. He is 17 out of 58 in his last 13 games, hitting .293. Had a base hit and a stolen base late in the ball game last night, his 14th steal of the year. No score top half of the second. Hollingsworth winds, and the pitch. Fastball taken just above the letters. It's 1-0. The Goldeyes are in the alternate red uniforms tonight. Goldeyes in navy block lettering on the front side. Names in white, numbers in navy blue in the back. Home white pants with no trim, and the all red caps. Here's the 1-0 pitch. high fly ball down the left field line. That'll slice into the crowd, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. For a third time in the series, the Wingnuts are going with their road black uniforms. Wichita printed in white lettering on the front side. Names and numbers in white on the back. Road gray pants with black trim. And the Wingnuts are wearing their all black hats. 1-1 on the third baseman, Chris McClendon. Hollingsworth to the windup. Here's the pitch. Swinging a high pop-up behind short. Drifting back is Tyler Kuhn on the outfield grass. Makes the catch and the side is retired. Ethan Hollingsworth has a 1-2-3 top of the second. Nothing across for the Wingnuts. Middle of the second here at Shaw Park. No score on Jewel 101.
Watching the game is something to enjoy. But remember, drinking any alcohol and driving don't mix. Drinking and driving puts you and others in danger. Your best bet is a designated driver who has had no alcohol. Enjoy the game, but whatever you do, don't drink and drive. To keep Manitobans safe behind the wheel, police are increasing enforcement near you. Watch for them. A message from Manitoba Public Insurance.
Summer barbecues on the patio. They're all fun and games until someone slips and drops an entire plate of steaks. No! Prairie Safety Surfacing can help keep your family and steaks safe all year round with Rubber Rock, the original rubber safety surfacing in North America since 1983. Prairie Safety Surfacing mix and pour Rubber Rock on site to create a seamless, non-skid finish on your patio, driveway, pool deck, and more. Trust the original Rubber Rock. Bounces like rubber, wears like rock. Learn more at prairiesafetysurfacing.com.
Hey, you're looking red and shiny today.
It's just the burger sweats, babe.
That's not normal.
Nah, it's cool. I read the nutrition fact things like you said. I've got enough sodium for like 3 days.
It's easy to make the healthy choice at Jugo Juice. Jugo Juice smoothies are made with real fruit and veggies, 100% fruit juice with no added sugar, and no sorbet fillers or purees. So whatever you order, it's loaded with the good stuff. Stop by Jugo Juice at Shaw Park or Polo Park.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball.
This is Ryan Pineda, and you're listening to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Jewel 101.
Come celebrate your birthday Goldeyes style. Partygoers receive a souvenir, hot dog, potato chips, and soft drink, plus birthday cake and mini donuts to enjoy in the stands, courtesy of Little Orbit's Mini Donuts. The guest of honor also receives a birthday card, Goldeyes Baseball, photo with Goldie, happy birthday, PA announcement during the game, and more. Parties are just $16 per person based on a minimum of 10 guests. Call the Goldeyes office at 982-BASE to book your next birthday bash. No score, bottom half of the second. Casey Harther leads off against left-hander Frank Del Valle. Harther, a right-hand batter, still leads the league in hitting at .384. First pitch, fastball taken just high and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Casey 11 home runs, and he is tied for 9th in the American Association with 54 runs batted in. Del Valle, full windup, third base side of the rubber. Swinging a chopper towards third, backhanded by McClendon. Taps the glove and throws across to first in time to get Harther. And there's one away to start the bottom half of the second. For all Goldeyes home games this year, when the Goldeyes win, all fans in attendance win a Winnie Dog thanks to Salisbury House. If the Goldeyes win tonight, you can take your game ticket to any of the 7 Sal's Express locations to receive a free Winnie Dog with a purchase of fries. The offer is valid for 7 days following the win, courtesy of Salisbury House. One offer per ticket, per person, per visit, not valid at Shaw Park. Reggie Abercrombie stepping up, riding a 17-game hitting streak. He saved it last night on the bottom of the 8th, beating out an infield single at first. Swinging a foul straight down, big cut, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. Abercrombie, .284, tied for 4th in the league with 15 homers, and he ranks 8th with 55 runs batted in. He is hitting .403 during the 17-game hitting streak, which is now tied with Casey Harther for the longest by a Goldeyes player this season. No score, bottom of the second, bases empty and 1 man down. Del Valle shakes the sign from the catcher Brent Dean. Now the lefty deals. Fastball high and outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Del Valle has some late action on his fastball. He's at anywhere between 83 and 87 miles an hour, but it comes hard out of the hand, has some late movement. Left-hand pitcher, right-hand batter. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball misses low and outside. It's now 2 balls and 1 strike. Abercrombie hitting .346 against left-handers this year, 18 out of 52. And he's hitting .336 against lefties over the last 5 years. Dean setting up outside. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Abercrombie. Swing and a miss through a changeup by him, and it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Del Valle last pitched on Sunday against the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks. That was the opener of a 4-game series at Newman Outdoor Field. He went 6 innings, allowed 1 earned run and 6 hits, did walk 4 and struck out 7, and the Wingnuts won that ball game late by a final of 3-1. 2-2 on Abercrombie. Now the pitch. Swinging a high chopper to third. McClendon waits. He reaches. Has to fire to first, and it's in time to get Abercrombie for the second out. Chris McClendon has made 3 assists today at third base, and overall he's played a very good third base throughout this series. Josh Mazzola now stepping up. Great to see Mazzola back in the lineup after missing the last handful of games due to a couple of nagging injuries late here in this season. So Mazzola adds huge depth now to the Goldeyes lineup. Probably can't run 100% right now, but he has that power battle step in for the right side for the first time in this series. 265 in the year, 9 homers, and 45 runs batted in. A right-hand bat with a wide-open stance. First pitch, fastball catches the outside corner at the knees, and the count is no balls and a strike. Mazzola, .321 against left-handers this year, and .331 in his career. Fastball high and away, and it's now 1-1. Frank Del Valle, in his 4th year professional baseball in North America, spent the last 3 years in the Chicago Cubs organization. He was in Major League spring training with the Cubs earlier this year. Here's the pitch. Swinging a ground ball to third. Pickoff fielded by McClendon. He sets and throws to first in time to get Mazzola, and the inning is over. So 3 straight grounders to Chris McClendon at third base. He's had 4 total chances tonight. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on. 2 in the books at Shaw Park. No score on Jewel 101.
Step into Cub Bakery and you'll feel like you've come home. Cub Bakery, the oldest rye bread bakery in the city, has been making Winnipeg-style rye bread using virtually the same recipe since 1923. But they make so much more than their signature rye. Pick up fresh hearth and pan breads, pastries, and buns, all baked with care to ensure you and your family enjoy only the highest of quality. One taste and you'll understand why they're a Winnipeg tradition. Cub Bakery, always fresh.
I'm off to the UPS store.
We don't need anything shipped.
Well, I'm getting our office printing and brochures made up, and I need some name badges and these pages laminated for our training class tomorrow.
At the UPS store?
Yeah, they do everything.
No, really, what are you shipping?
Copy, print, ship, and more at the UPS store. With their digital and wide format printing services as well as in-house graphic design services, they've got all your business needs covered. Big or small, they do it all at the UPS store.
Boys never outgrow their need for toys. The toys just get bigger. Metro Center, Winnipeg store for all things trailer, can help you take your toys anywhere you want to go. Trailers, parts, hitches, Metro Center has it all. Plus, you'll earn Air Miles reward miles with every purchase. Over 4,000 square feet of trailer parts, truck accessories, online ordering, knowledgeable staff, trailer service. Everything you need to haul your toys is at your Winnipeg trailer store. Metro Center, 620 Nairn. Visit metrotrailers.ca.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball on Jewel 101.
Get your group of 25 or more together for a Goldeyes game. Our group packages suit everyone from a family gathering to the team at work that wants to share in the experience of exciting Goldeyes baseball. These packages are full of benefits just for your group. Seating is available in all areas of Shaw Park. Call our group department at 982 base and let one of our event experts look after the details of your next outing. Don't forget to ask about our group picnic packages or the Goldeyes patio deck. First pitch to Brent Dean, starting the top half of the third. A fastball over the outside corner, and it's 0-1. Dean 6 for 23 in 9 games with the Wingnuts, 261. A homer and 3 driven in. The 0-1 pitch, grounded towards third. Tough play, backhanded by Blackwood. Turns, fires to first. Harther scoops it out, and Dean is retired to start the top of the third inning. Nice play by Jake Black. We got a tough hop behind the bag at third. And the backhand pick turned into a throwing position. He bounced it at first, but Casey Arthur scooped it out with the left hand, and there's one away. So both pitchers off to good starts, and both third basemen have looked good tonight in the field. Chris McClendon for the Wingnuts, and now Jake Blackwood for the Goldeyes. David Amberson stepping up. He started the game-winning rally last night in the top half of the ninth, pulling a double down the left field line. He would take third in a sac bunt and then score the eventual winning run on the Ryan Corey ground ball single. Amberson, a right-hand batter, 271 with a homer and 15 runs batted in. The first pitch from Hollingsworth. Fastball over the inside half of the letters, 86 miles an hour, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Mentioned last night that Wichita is currently on a 17-game, 21-day road trip away from their home ballpark, Lawrence Dumont Stadium. The 0-1 pitch, Amberson grounds one into the glove of Hollingsworth, and it looks like he caught it before it hit the mound. Nice play by Ethan Hollingsworth. He turned to avoid getting hit in the leg, dropped his glove down to the left, and caught that right as it was about to hit the pitcher's rubber at the very top of the mound here at Shaw Park. So Amberson hit it hard, and Ethan Hollingsworth, with a nifty defensive play, takes away a potential base hit. So it's 2 outs and nobody on. Jake Lucci stepping up, has swung the bat real well in this series. A left-hand batter hitting .375, 18 out of 48 in 13 games with the Wingnuts. No homers and 6 driven in. He's hit safely in 10 of the 13 games and has 6 contests with multiple hits. The first pitch, fastball over the inside corner, and the count is 0-1. We're scoreless in the top half of the third, game 3 of a 4-game series. The Wingnuts have to vacate their home park in Wichita, Kansas for at least 2 weeks at the beginning of every August for the NBC World Series, one of the largest amateur tournaments in North America. Lucci lines it to right, coming on Pineda. He's got a plate and a hop for a base hit. And Lucci is safe at first with a 2-out single, the first base runner for either side tonight. Lucci will be a threat to run, already 5 for 5 in stolen bases, and really fitting in with the speed culture for the Wingnuts this season, leading the league by a wide margin with 131 stolen bases. They've only been caught 34 times, and we'll see if Lucci is in motion with Ryan Corey stepping to the plate. Corey was called out in strikes. Hollingsworth got him with a slider over the outside corner in the top half of the first. Lucci stretching his lead at first base, held by Casey Harther, a right-handed fielder. Corey, right-hand batter, came in at .327, 9 homers and 44 runs batted in. Hollingsworth is ready, and the runner goes. Pitch taken outside, throw to second base. Bond's tag is in, plenty of time to get Lucci, and the inning is over. Luis Allen from his knees throws out Jake Lucci at second base. Rockbond applies the tag, and that ends the top half of the third. No runs, 1 hit, and nobody left on base. Middle of the third inning at Shaw Park. No score on Jewel 101.
My son loves hockey, but after a body check last season, I didn't think he would play. He slid hard into the boards. I was worried. We went to our family chiropractor. He set up a treatment plan, and his care was partly covered by Manitoba Health. Now, my son's back on the ice playing and enjoying every minute, even the practices. Thanks to our chiropractor for making life better.
Manitoba Chiropractors, making life better.
Princess Auto is for the real men. Men who like to get their hands dirty. Men who like to work from the ground up and use the best tools and equipment for the job. Real do-it-yourself men who know an air filter from a fuel pump. Men who walk into Princess Auto and feel like a kid in a candy store. Princess Auto, everything a man needs to get the job done right. A unique world of equipment, tools, and more. Visit PrincessAuto.com for sales, specials, and more.
Nice day. Want a drink? Yeah, sure. Pass me a Pepsi. Whoa! Do you hear that? Open your Pepsi. Whoa! That was awesome.
Hit it out of the park this summer with the cool, refreshing taste of Pepsi. Pepsi, live for now.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball.
This is Casey Harther, and you're listening to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Jewel 101.
Bottom half of the third at Shaw Park. The Goldeyes and Wingnuts are scoreless. What a great throw by Luis Allen to get the final out. In the top of this inning, Jake Lucci singled to right on a hard line drive. And on the first pitch to Ryan Corey, Lucci was caught by a wide margin at second when Allen threw to second base from his knees. Jake Blackwood leads off the home third. He swings. It's a high fly ball out to center field. Cleveland started back. Now moves in a few steps and makes the catch, 1 away in the bottom half of the third. Broadway's biggest blockbuster, Wicked, the untold story of the Witches of Oz, is flying back to Winnipeg August 20th through 30th at the Centennial Concert Hall. Enter for your chance to win 4 opening night tickets at the Wicked display located on the Shaw Park concourse near the Dugout Goldeyes Souvenir Store. Here comes Luis Allen, who just got Jake Lucci in the top of this inning trying to steal second. Allen, a right-hand batter, .275, 4 homers and 40 runs batted in. Frank Del Valle going from the windup, and the pitch. Fastball high and away. It's 1-0 strikes. Over the last 5 seasons, all spent with the Winnipeg Goldeyes, Luis Allen, a .320 hitter against left-hand pitching. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses just down low, and it's 2 strikes. Interestingly, Del Valle, and granted this is a smaller sample size of just 16 2/3 innings, but he has done much better against right-hand batters than he has lefties in his time with Wichita. Fastball, a little bit low and inside, 3-0. So Luis Allen in front, 3 balls and no strikes, 22 walks on the year against only 13 strikeouts. Enters tonight with an on-base percentage of .339. Righties are hitting just .150 against Frank Del Valle this season with the Wingnuts. Lefties an even .300. Outfield playing Allen a few steps to left. The 3-0 pitch. Fastball right down the middle. And it's 3 balls and a strike. Ryan Pineda, playing right field for the first time this season, is waiting on deck. Bases empty, 1 out, no score, bottom half of the 3rd. The windup from Del Valle. And the pitch. Line drive caught by McClendon at 3rd. The 6th chance in the field tonight for 3rd baseman Chris McClendon. This is the first one caught on the fly. A low liner just above the knee as McClendon dropped down and caught that before it had a chance to sneak into left field. Allen retired. That brings up Ryan Pineda. Pineda, a right-hand batter, at a 2-run homer last night in the Goldeyes half of the 3rd inning. And it gave Winnipeg a 4-1 lead at the time. Pineda's hitting .290 this year, 3 homers and 26 runs batted in. Right-hand batter, a wide stance and a deep crouch. Del Valle's first pitch, fastball high and away. It's 1-0 strikes. Frank Del Valle last year was in the High A Florida State League, pitching for the Cubs affiliate, the Daytona Cubs. He went 3-3 in 31 games in relief at a 2.29 ERA. Fastball high and outside, and the count is now 2-0. It was his 3rd consecutive year with the Daytona Cubs in the High A Florida State League. And I mentioned he was in big league camp with the Cubs earlier this spring before getting let go. Signed by Wichita about 3 weeks ago and has done a good job. Here's the 2-0 to Ryan Pineda. Fastball low and outside. So for a 2nd straight hitter, Del Valle falls behind 3-0. He got away with it when Allen hit the ball hard, but it was caught by Chris McClendon. And now we'll see what Pineda does. He'll likely take a pitch here. 3 balls and no strikes. Outfield playing Pineda a couple of steps towards left. No score, bottom of the 3rd. Del Valle from the windup, holding the glove just beneath his chin. The 3-0 pitch. Fastball, low, ball 4. And Ryan Pineda becomes the Goldeyes' first base runner tonight. A 4-pitch, 2-out walk. Pineda with good speed, 5 for 6 in steals. He'll be held by David Espinoza at first, a right-handed defender. Back to the top for Brock Bond, who was retired on a ground ball to Chris McClendon in the bottom half of the 1st inning. Bond, a switch hitter, right-handed. Del Valle going into the stretch for the first time tonight. Del Valle, in his pro career, opposing base stealers have been thrown out 38% of the time. He's done a good job controlling the running game. Brent Dean last night was able to throw out a base runner. There was Reggie Abercrombie in the bottom half of the 8th. Here's the pitch. Fastball on the outside corner. It's no balls and a strike. Dean, in his brief time with the Wingnuts, is 1 out of 2 in throwing out base runners. And he is 27% in his career, now in its 6th season. So a pretty good combination here with Del Valle on the mound and Dean behind the plate. Here's the 0-1 to Bond. Breaking ball on the outside corner. A big curveball at 73 miles an hour. The count is 0-2. Bond, a tough guy to strike out, entering tonight 34 walks and just 11 strikeouts in 42 games. Ryan Pineda on 1st and 2 away. 0-0, bottom half of the 3rd in front of a big crowd at Shaw Park. Del Valle from the extended set. And the 0-2 pitch, swinging a high bounce at a 3rd, charging McClendon. He fields, steps in, fires off balance to 1st. It's in time to get Bond. And Chris McClendon getting a workout tonight at 3rd, and he's done a good job once again. No runs, no hits, 1 left on base. 3 in the books at Shaw Park, no score on Jewel 101.
Things you'll never hear a Cambrian Credit Union member say.
Oh, I just love paying service fees.
My high mortgage rate is amazing.
Yes, I'll pay $1.50 to use this ATM.
With Cambrian Credit Union's great rates and free banking through the UnFee, Cambrian members won't say these things. With a full range of hassle-free financial services, they're here for Manitobans. Cambrian Credit Union, building strong financial foundations for making dreams come true.
Honey, where should I put this?
In the basement.
I don't think there's any room.
Sound familiar? If your home or garage has accumulated more than it can hold, let BFI Canada help. Rent a temporary bin from BFI for a day, a week, or longer. Too much stuff? Then call the Blue. Call BFI Canada to schedule your delivery today. BFI Canada, a progressive waste solutions company.
Go to bostonpizza.com and finger cook a meal the whole family will love. Don't waste your precious time cooking when you don't have to. We know you've got more important things to do, like watching sports highlights, stopping your kids from bumping into stuff, or simply taking a break from napping. And with over 100 menu items to choose from, everyone can get exactly what they want. To order, call 925-4111 or finger cook today at bostonpizza.com.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball.
This is outfielder Donnie Webb, and you're listening to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Jewel 101.
Help support the Winnipeg Goldeyes Field of Dreams Foundation with a K's for Kids program. All you have to do is pledge an amount that you will donate towards the Field of Dreams Foundation every time a Goldeyes pitcher records a home strikeout during the 2014 season. You can fill out a pledge form at goldeyes.com or at the fan services booth at Shaw Park. At the end of the season, we'll add up all the Goldeyes strikeouts, and the Field of Dreams Foundation will send you an invoice, or if you wish, we can charge your credit card for the amount pledged. For more information about the K's for Kids program, visit goldeyes.com. First pitch on the way to Ryan Correa. Fastball taken outside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Correa was at the plate when Jake Lucci was caught stealing in the top half of the third. We're scoreless in the fourth. Correa, right-hand batter, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Fastball, it's on the outside corner. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Frank Del Valle, with the late life in his fastball, has been able to induce 5 ground balls to third base tonight, as well as a line drive to third hit by Luis Allen. Righty against righty. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swinging a line drive to left field. Moving forward is Donnie Webb. Webb is there, makes the catch. 1 away in the top half of the fourth. We'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard in this inning, brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross, the color of caring. They're in the top of the third at Newman Outdoor Field in Fargo. The Redhawks have a 1-0 lead over the Gary South Shore Railcats. Gary had a late win last night, tying things up in the ninth and then winning in 10 to avoid dropping out of first place for the first time since very early in the season. Tonight at 7:05, the Salt Dogs and Canaries continue their series at Haymarket Park. First pitch to Jake Cahalileo is a slider on the outside corner. It's 0-1. The Amarillo Sox and Grand Prairie Airhawks will continue their series at Quick Trip Park tonight in Grand Prairie, Texas. Also a 7:05 first pitch. Fastball high and tight, and Cahalileo leans out of the way. It's 1-1. Tonight at 7:05 at Midway Stadium, the St. Paul Saints play host to the Sioux City Explorers. Sioux City gave the Goldeyes some help last night with a 6-2 win. On the outside corner, a curveball from Hollingsworth at 79 miles an hour. Jake Cahalileo 0 for 1. He fouled out to Casey Harther on a pop fly in the top of the first inning. A right-hand batter, bases empty and 1 away. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him at a curveball in the dirt. Luis Allen applies the tag. 2 strikeouts in the game for Ethan Hollingsworth. And he has retired the first 2 in the top half of the fourth. At 7:30 tonight, the Laredo Lemurs and Kansas City T-Bones will play the regularly scheduled ball game. They were suspended last night due to the league's curfew rule, with the score tied at 9 through 10 innings. And the resumption of that game, it is still 9-9, and they are currently in the bottom half of the 11th at Laredo, Texas. Here at Shaw Park, no score, top of the fourth. Both starting pitchers have been outstanding so far. David Espinoza at the plate, and he swings and misses at a changeup down low. It's no balls and a strike. Espinoza flied out to Ryan Pineda for the final out in the top of the first. A switch hitter from the left side. Espinoza this season hitting .269 from the left side of the plate, .369 from the right. Allen sets up away. The 0-1 pitch, fastball high and outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. It's no runs, no hits, and no errors for the Goldeyes. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors for the Wingnuts. 2 outs, nobody on base. Espinoza, the veteran infielder and outfielder, has been in this league in some form since 2008. The 1-1 from Hollingsworth, swinging a ground ball foul outside of first, and it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Espinoza acquired shortly before the All-Star game in exchange for right-hander Patrick Mincy. That was a valuable piece that the Wingnuts had a part with. Last year, Mincy was the American Association's Relief Pitcher of the Year. Was one of the top closers in the league for the Grand Prairie Airhogs, a former teammate of Ryan Pineda. Here's the windup and the 1-2 pitch. Fastball high and inside, 2-2. But at the time, that trade took place on July 24th. Wichita was looking to add some more depth to their lineup, and Espinoza, certainly a veteran hitter, has had a lot of success in the American Association. The 2-2 pitch. Swinging a line drive to right center field. That's down for a base hit. Pineda sprinting to his right. Cuts the ball off in the gap. And that'll hold David Espinoza to a single to right center. So a 2-out base hit. That'll bring up Brent Cleveland, who popped out to Tyler Kuhn at shortstop his first time up. 1 on and 2 out. Cleveland, a right-handed batter, came in ranking in the top 4 in all 3 Triple Crown categories. Pardon me, in the top 6. 4th in batting average at .357. Tied for 6th in homers with 14 and 2nd with 62 runs batted in. Espinoza can run, now over 30 years of age, but he has 10 steals in 12 attempts. He is 1 for 3 as a member of the Wingnuts in stolen bases. Casey Harther holds him on. Cleveland, a right-hand batter with tremendous power. The first pitch, fastball letter high over the outside half, and the count is 0-1. Cleveland, a former teammate both in the minor leagues and in the major leagues of his current manager, Kevin Hooper. And also their part owner, Nate Robertson, who spent a total of 9 years in the major leagues, mostly with the Detroit Tigers. Tossed to first, and Espinoza back standing up with that attack. Brent Cleveland, David Espinoza, and Kevin Hooper played 3 seasons together with a AAA Toledo Mud-Hens, the Tigers' top minor league affiliate, 2005 through 2007. And during the 05 and 06 seasons, Cleveland, Hooper, and Robertson played together with the Tigers. Fastball taken down low in the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Cleveland first getting to the major leagues during that 06 season with Detroit. Appeared in 31 games. He had 3 homers, drove in 6 while hitting .282 down the stretch. Helped the Tigers get to the postseason that year. Another toss to first, and Espinoza dives back safe. No score in the top half of the 4th inning. Game 3 of a 4-game series here in downtown Winnipeg. The wind is blowing from right to left for a 3rd straight night. Cleveland crowds the plate, holds the bat down low. Now a snap throw to first, and Espinoza is just safe. Hollingsworth looked like he had picked him off. Espinoza was flat-footed. He had a big lead. He dove into the bag. Harther slapped the tag down on his back. And Bobby Feaster, the first base umpire, said that Espinoza just got back in. Good move there by Ethan Hollingsworth, who's done a good job not only this year but throughout his career in controlling the running game. High extended set, the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, and a slider away. It's 1-2. This year, base runners have been thrown out 5 out of 14 times, with Hollingsworth on the mound, a 36% success rate, and that is exactly what Hollingsworth has done in his 7-year professional career. Opposing base stealers have been thrown out 36% of the time, with Hollingsworth on top of the mound. Right-hand pitcher, right-hand batter. Now another toss to first, and Espinoza again just gets back safe. This time a shorter lead, but he was a bit late diving in. So Hollingsworth, for his 2nd straight toss over to first, almost picked off David Espinoza. Cleveland had a triple off Johan Santana, a longtime ace in the major leagues, mostly with the Minnesota Twins during his major league debut. And now they've got him picked off, though, to first, and Espinoza is out at first base. Hollingsworth came set. Espinoza took off a little bit too soon. Hollingsworth wheeled over to first, and Espinoza out by a wide margin, picked off 1-3, and that will end the top half of the 4th inning. No runs, 1 hit, and nobody left on base. Middle of the 4th here at Shaw Park. No score on Jewel 101.
The Winnipeg Goldeyes make dreams come true by providing live baseball experiences to charities, nonprofit groups, and inner-city programs. Now with the Goldeyes Community Zone, even more memories are available to be made. For group tickets, contact the Goldeyes at 982-BASE. These seats are made possible through generous donations from the Community Zone partners. So from the Winnipeg Goldeyes and Community Zone recipients, thank you, CN, Princess Auto, Christie's Office Plus, Volkswagen Canada, the Players Cup, MTS, and University of Winnipeg.
Here's the pitch, and oh, my goodness, a line drive right into Martin's face.
He just smashed his glasses.
He's standing up again. But boy, those glasses are toast.
Well, I bet he's glad he's covered by Manitoba Blue Cross.
Just like sports, life can throw you a curveball. And while provincial health care doesn't cover glasses or all prescription drugs, Manitoba Blue Cross has coverage options to keep you in the game.
Manitoba Blue Cross, the color of caring.
Visit mb.bluecross.ca to find out more.
Salisbury House has hit a home run with the introduction of their new premium fresh-cut fries by Cavendish. Available at all 7 Salisbury House family and 7 Sal's Express restaurants. And Shaw Park, too. They will remind you of the taste and quality when Mom made them at home. So swing into Sal's for their new fresh-cut fries on every platter. Ask about Goldeyes vouchers redeemable for free tickets to Goldeyes home games. Compliments of Salisbury House. Your house, your food, your way.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball.
This is left-hand pitcher Brendan Lafferty, and you're listening to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Jewel 101.
Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball is brought to you by MTS. Get unlimited internet in Manitoba on all your devices only with MTS. Donnie Webb takes a fastball low and inside from Frank Del Valle to start the bottom half of the fourth. No score, and for a second straight inning, the Goldeyes defense takes a runner off the base paths for the Wingnuts for the final out. Webb, a switch hitter from the right side. Fastball just a bit high, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Webb fouled out to David Espinoza for the second out in the bottom half of the first. Luis Allen threw out Jake Lucci trying to steal to end the third, and then David Espinoza was picked off by Ethan Hollingsworth to win the top of this inning. Fastball that catches the outside corner, 2 balls and a strike. Frank Del Valle is yet to allow a hit over 3, the only base runner, a 2-out walk to Ryan Pineda in the bottom half of the third. The windup from the left-hander and the 2-1 pitch. Fastball on the inside corner. A bit of a wider call from Joe Stegner, and it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Donnie Webb, an all-star for the Winnipeg Goldeyes, one of their 6. Trying to get things started here in the bottom half of the fourth. Del Valle takes a deep breath, gets the sign from Brent Dean, catching for a second straight night. Now the 2-2 to Webb, and a changeup misses just outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Del Valle has shown off a very deep arsenal. A 4-seam fastball, a 2-seamer that's had a lot of late action to it over the first 3+ innings. A big looping curveball and now a changeup that just missed off the plate. Del Valle winds. The payoff to Webb. Line drive the other way. Base hit through to right field. Good swing by Donnie Webb. Able to hit that hard the other way. A leadoff single. First hit for the Goldeyes. And a good start for Winnipeg to try and get the first run of tonight's game. Tyler Kuhn now steps to the plate. He fly to center field his first time up. Trades and transactions are brought to you by Prairie Safety Surfacing. Bounces like rubber, wears like a rock. Prairie Safety Surfacing, your authorized rubber rock dealer for Manitoba. Visit them at prairiesafetysurfacing.com. Donnie Webb leads the league in steals. 30 stolen bases this year. He's been caught just 5 times. Del Valle steps and tosses over, a tricky move. Webb was leaning a bit, but didn't have that big of a lead and gets back in time as Espinoza applied the tag. The Goldeyes are in second in the league in stolen bases, 99, and have been caught just 24 times. Kuhn, a left-hand batter. Del Valle delivers, runner goes, pitch taken high. Dean fires to second. Corey's tag, not in time. And Webb slides in safe with his league-leading 31st stolen base of the year. Webb got a real good jump. He took off in first movement as Del Valle lifted the right leg. Brent Dean made a strong throw to second. Corey slapped the tag down, but Donnie had that stolen by half a step. So that is the 100th steal of the year for the Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball Club. Tyler Kuhn now with a count of 1-0. And he'll try and get the ball to the right side and advance Donnie Webb to third base. Chris McClendon playing off the line, but even with the bag at third. And Espinoza stepped near the line at first. Del Valle's pitch, and Kuhn checks a swing they say went around. And a breaking ball in the dirt, 71 miles an hour. It's now 1-1. Tyler Kuhn on the season hitting .349 with runners in scoring position. A .311 career average in that situation. Donnie Webb, great speed on second. Tyler Kuhn, a left-hand batter, stands close to the plate, a slightly open stance. Del Valle looks back, and the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball, dribble to the left side, tough play. Del Valle fields, bobbles, and he has no play at first. A slow ground ball to the left side. Del Valle moving towards the third base line. Had it briefly, then dropped the ball and couldn't pick it up on the second attempt. Donnie Webb goes to third. Tyler Kuhn is safe at first. And they'll score that an infield single for Tyler Kuhn. So the Goldeyes with a great chance here. First and third, nobody out, and the league's leading hitter stepping to the plate. Casey Harther, a right-hand batter. A chance to at least give the Goldeyes the lead with a deep fly ball. Webb is on third, Kuhn on first. Kuhn a base running threat, 10 for 12 in the year in stolen bases. Casey Harther this season a .549 hitter against left-handed pitchers, 28 of 51. It is a final, by the way, in Laredo. The Lemurs win 11, 10-9, and the continuation of last night's suspended game. Harther takes a first pitch changeup in the knees for a strike, and it's 0-1. The winning run came across the plate on an error, and the regularly scheduled game between the Lemurs and the T-Bones will begin shortly at Unitrade Stadium. First and third, no one down. Del Valle brings the hands together. Harther holding the bat high up. The 0-1 pitch, swinging a ground ball towards third, a foul ball. Grabbed by Rick Fournier, the Goldeyes manager, and he'll toss that out of play. It's now 0-2 on Casey Harther. Came in at .384, 20-point lead in the batting race over Ian Gack of the Lincoln Salt Dogs. No score, bottom of the fourth, but the Goldeyes with a great opportunity. Donnie Webb is on third. Tyler Kuhn is on first, held by David Espinoza. And Kuhn's got a huge lead. The 0-2, swinging a high bounce to third base. McLennan charges in. Only play at first, makes the throw in time. Webb comes in to score, and it's 1-0 Winnipeg in the bottom half of the fourth. An RBI ground out for Casey Harther, able to make contact on a tough 0-2 pitch. Harther tries in his 55th of the year, and he also gets Tyler Kuhn to second base with only one man down. So Casey Harther able to drive in the lead run. It's 1-0 Goldeyes, a runner in second, one away for Reggie Abercrombie. Will get a second opportunity tonight and try and hit safely in an 18th consecutive game. And yet another chance at third base tonight for Chris McClendon. And it's now 6 ground balls to third and 7 total chances in the field for the 6th-year professional Chris McClendon. Lefty to righty. Abercrombie waits in the first pitch. Swing and a miss at a curveball down low. And the count is no balls and 1 strike. Abercrombie had one of the bouncers to third base. That was in the bottom half of the second. Goldeyes lead 1-0 over the Wingnuts, bottom half of the fourth. Donnie Webb single and stolen base started things off. Webb went to third on the infield hit from Tyler Kuhn. And Webb scores on the ground out to third from Casey Harther. Kuhn a short lead from second base. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fouled straight back. Got a good rip and a high fastball, 85 miles an hour. And the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes. Winnipeg trying to win tonight. If they can do that, then all of a sudden you have a chance to split this 4-game set. Game 4 scheduled for tomorrow afternoon at 1:35. Rick Fournier indicated that Chris Salamita will likely get back on the mound tomorrow. The Wingnuts are scheduled to pitch right-hander Tim Brown, who has spent the last couple of years in the Frontier League. 0-2 the count on Reggie Abercrombie, hitting .318 this season with runners in scoring position. Tyler Kuhn is on second with 1 away. Goldeyes leading 1-0 in the bottom half of the fourth. Del Valle leans in to get the sign. Here's the set from the lefty. He looks back at second. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, got him on a curveball. First strikeout for Frank Del Valle. He had 7 in his start on Sunday against the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks. Now there's 2 men down. Josh Mazzola stepping to the plate. Mazzola grounds it out to third base his first time up. These are not only the 2 best teams right now in the American Association. The Wingnuts with a top winning percentage at .701 and a 54-23 record. The Goldeyes with a second best winning percentage at .603 and a record of 47-31. These are also the best 2 teams in the league overall since the merger in 2011. Here's the first pitch. Changeup into the knees for a strike, and it's 0-1. A good 79-mile-an-hour changeup from Frank Del Valle to get ahead of Josh Mazzola. Since 2011, the Wingnuts with a top record in the American Association. The Goldeyes are right behind them in second place. Kuhn now with a big lead off second. And Del Valle delivers. Fastball high and outside. Dean to pop out of the crouch to prevent a wild pitch. And it's now 1-1. In the 3 previous seasons, 2011, 12, and 13, these 2 clubs have combined for 5 postseason appearances. And of course, the Goldeyes winning the championship in 2012 against Wichita, sweeping the series 3-0. Runner on second and 2 outs. The 1-1 of Mazzola. Change up high and outside, and the count goes to 2 balls and a strike. Del Valle, originally from La Habana, Cuba, lives in Miami, Florida in the offseason. In 4 professional seasons, mostly as a reliever, a record of 11-13 and a 3.13 ERA. He's averaged 8.5 strikeouts per 9 innings over the last 4 years. Mazzola, right-hand batter, open stance. The 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Got a fastball by him down low, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, just great to have Josh Mazzola back in the lineup. He's DHing right now, trying to work himself back as close to 100% as possible for this late in the season. Mazzola steps back in from the right side. Tyler Kuhn on second. He's got a huge lead right now. Neither Corey or Cajalileo coming in to try and shorten things up. Del Valle set, and the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball low, boxed away by Dean. Heading for third is Tyler Kuhn. He'll get there standing up. That'll be a wild pitch charged to Frank Del Valle. Now a runner on third and 2 outs, and another one of those could give the Goldeyes a 2-0 advantage. And Josh Mazzola works with a 3-2 count. Jake Blackman on deck if Mazzola can extend the inning. Winnipeg 1, Wichita 0 in the bottom half of the 4th at Shaw Park. Del Valle looks like he will still work out of the stretch with a runner on third and 2 outs. Outfield playing Mazzola medium depth and a few strides to left center. The 24-year-old left-hander brings the hands together. And the payoff pitch. Fastball hit in the air to right field. Emerson back, he's there. And Emerson makes the catch. This side is retired. Winnipeg takes the lead. They score 1 run and 2 hits. There was 1 runner left on base. And at the end of 4 at Shaw Park, it's 1-0 Goldeyes on Jewel 101.
This is Goldeyes Baseball on 100.7 CFJL. Jewel 101, Winnipeg.
The Best Western Plus Winnipeg Airport Hotel is dedicated to making your stay as easy and carefree as possible. With over 8,000 square feet of meeting space and 213 guest rooms, the Best Western Plus can accommodate events large and small. Their on-site catering team and event planners offer customized menu options and expert service. Book your next corporate event, wedding, or conference at the Best Western Plus Winnipeg Airport Hotel, 1715 Wellington Avenue, or call 204-786-0687 for more information.
Going on vacation can be exciting.
Woo! Bon voyage, Winnipeg!
But when you're miles away from Winnipeg, the last thing you want to worry about is the security of your home. That's why Commissionaires Manitoba offers a house watch service. They'll do an interior and exterior patrol of your property, bring in your mail, remove snow from your car, even water your plants. Don't leave your house to chance. Leave it to the Commissionaires. Go to commissionaires.mb.ca.
Cheers to the NSA slow pitch team whose uniforms are not uniform at all. Cheers to the times where more prep goes into playing after the game than playing in it. Cheers to the team who carries the cooler to the bench first and then maybe goes back to the van for the bats, balls, and gloves. Cheers from the Bud family, Budweiser, Bud Light, and Bud Light Lime. Proud sponsors of your Winnipeg Goldeyes and every NSA slow pitch team in Winnipeg. Go get 'em!
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball.
This is Chris Salamini, and you're listening to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Jewel 101.
1-0 Winnipeg, top of the 5th at Shaw Park. Goldeyes able to scratch out a run on the Casey Harther RBI groundout. Frank Del Valle did a solid job to control the damage after Winnipeg at first and third and no one down. So 1-0 Goldeyes here in the top of the 5th. Brent Cleveland will lead things off. He was at the plate when David Espinoza was picked off to end the top half of the 4th. First pitch from Ethan Hollingsworth, a fastball over the outside corner, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. So after Espinoza was picked off, Hollingsworth has still faced the minimum through 4 innings. Fastball just inside, and the count is now 1-1. Cleveland 0 for 1, popped a shortstop his first time up. He'll be followed by Carlo Testa and Chris McClendon, 4, 5, and 6. The 1-1 pitch, high fly ball towards the right field line. Going out is Casey Harther, and that ball will land about halfway into the box seats. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cleveland, one of several returning members from last year's Wichita club that set an American Association record with 68 victories. Wichita was heavily favored in both of their postseason series. They would sweep the Airhogs in the division series, Here's the 1-2 pitch. Slider missing outside, 2-2. In fact, they shut out Grand Prairie in all 3 games, outscoring them 30-0. They were then upset in 4 by the Gary South Shore Railcats, who got in via the wild card. Gary won 59 games last year. The 2-2 pitch and a high fly ball deep left center field. Looking up is Webb, and this ball is gone. Brent Cleveland with another long homer. This one out to left center field. And just like that, the Wingnuts have tied the game at 1-1 here in the top half of the 5th. For Brent Cleveland, his 15th homer of the year and his 7th in the last 12 games. He homers for a 2nd straight contest in this series. So it's now 1-1. And Cleveland picks up his 63rd RBI of the year, 2nd most in the American Association. That brings up Carlo Testa 0 for 1. He flied out to center field his first time up. Testa, a left-handed batter, entered 11th in the league and hitting at .333. 1-1 top of the 5th. Hollingsworth winds in the pitch, swinging a foul straight back off the end of the bat. And the count is 0-1. Wichita and Gary South Shore splitting the first 2 games of the championship series last year. And then the Railcats won games 3 and 4, both by a single run. And the Railcats took their 3rd championship in franchise history, all under Greg Taggart. Goldeyes and Railcats have 1 series left. It'll finish up the season. Fastball high and tight. And Testa turns out of the way. It's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Chris McClendon waiting on deck. A run, 2 hits, no errors for the Goldeyes. 1 run, 3 hits, and no errors for the Wingnuts. Infield pull to the right side. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Changeup outside, and it's 2-1. The in-game line score is brought to you by Culligan Water. Better water, pure and simple. Culligan Water has been locally owned and operated since 1956, serving Winnipeg and the surrounding areas. Contact them at drinkculligan.com. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Good changeup. Behind on the count from Ethan Hollingsworth. And now it's 2-2 on Carlo Testa. Testa 7 homers and 45 driven in. He's hit safely in 58 of 77 games played this season. No one down here in the top of the 5th following the leadoff homer from Brent Cleveland. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Chased a changeup down low. And Ethan Hollingsworth strikes out his 3rd. 1 out and nobody on. Tonight's trivia question is brought to you by the Place Louis Riel Suite Hotel in downtown Winnipeg. Place Louis Riel, specializing in spacious executive suites. Well, Winnipeg Goldeyes left-hand pitcher Brennan Lafferty currently leads the league with 44 appearances. He is on pace to tie the American Association record of 57. Who holds the American Association record for single-season appearances? Swing and a miss by Chris McClendon and a changeup away, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. Call the Jewel 101 studio at 204-943-5250 with your answer for a chance to win a pair of tickets to an upcoming Goldeyes game. We'll have the correct answer later tonight. McClendon 0 for 1, popped a shortstop his first time up. Changeup on the outside corner. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Score tied at 1. Goldeyes scratched one out in the bottom of the 4th. Brent Cleveland leading off this inning with a long homer to left center field. Right-hand pitcher, left-hand batter. The 0-2 to McClendon. Curveball misses outside. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ethan Hollingsworth making his 5th start of the year at home. He's 3-0 at Shaw Park this season with a 5.56 ERA. Looks in to get the sign from Luis Allen. Hollingsworth now in his 7th year of professional baseball. The 1-2 pitch, line shot towards center field beyond the reach of Brockbaum. That'll fall in the shallow part of the outfield grass. A 1-out single to center for Chris McClendon. That'll bring up Brent Dean, the catcher. Hollingsworth, 3 times in his career has been at AAA. AAA Sacramento and the A's organization in 2011. AAA Omaha and the Royals organization in 2012. And he got to AAA Indianapolis and the Pirates chain last year. And great numbers overall in 2013, a 3.65 ERA over the course of 93 2/3 innings, pitching both out of the rotation and in the bullpen. McClendon can run. He stole second base last night. Hollingsworth steps and throws over, and McClendon dives back safe. Wingnuts, again, they are very aggressive on the base paths with both stolen bases and hit and run attempts. They have been taken off the base paths twice tonight. Allen throwing out Lucci in the 3rd, and then Espinoza getting picked off by Hollingsworth in the top of the 4th. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball outside and low, and it's 1-0 on Brent Dean, who grounds it out to third base in the top of the third. McLennan getting a big lead at first base. His steal last night is 14th in just 15 attempts. Kevin Hooper gives the signs from the third base coach's area. Infield looks for a double play. Dean, like Chris McMurray, very athletic for a catcher. Tyler Kuhn plays a step in the hole at short. Fastball on the outside corner. And it's 1-1 strike on Brent Dean, the alumnus of UCLA, former college teammate of Casey Harther and Brendan Lafferty. Played for the Bruins 2007 and 2008 when undrafted. He would sign with the Sioux City Explorers, appeared in only 6 games the following year, and then has spent the last 3 years in the Milwaukee Brewers organization. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swinging a line shot to right field. Pineda back a step into his right. Makes the catch for the second out. And McLennan goes back to first. Good swing the other way by Brent Dean, but he sliced it in the direction of Ryan Pineda, starting in right field for the first time this year. David Amberson stepping up. Was retired in a bizarre play. He had a low line drive that was likely going to hit the mound, and Ethan Hollingsworth, he turned his body out of the way in self-preservation, then dropped his glove down and caught it before it had a chance to hit the man and possibly go into center field. Amberson, a right-hand batter. Amberson, 11 out of 47 against lefties this year, hitting .234. The pitch, fastball taken down low in the count, 1-0 strikes. He is hitting much better against righties, a .272 average. Mentioned last night that Amberson's first career homer came in this ballpark June 10th of last year. A game the Goldeyes would eventually win in the bottom half of the ninth on a Casey Harther base hit to right. Swinging a foul straight back. Good rip by Amberson. An 86-mile-an-hour sinker from Ethan Hollingsworth. It's now 1-1 strike. A run, 2 hits, no errors for the Goldeyes. A run, 4 hits, and no errors for the Wingnuts. Tied in the top half of the fifth with the outfield playing a step deep and a couple of steps to left. Amberson crowds the plate. McLennan still a big lead. Hasn't tried a run yet. Hollingsworth ready. Now a step and a toss over. And McLennan gets back standing up. So Hollingsworth has done a great job tonight trying to control the team with the most stolen bases in the American Association. McLennan has been kept honest since reaching with a 1-out single. Hollingsworth from the extended set. And the 1-1 pitch. Slider right down the middle at the knees, 78 miles an hour. And the count is 1-2 strikes. Seen a lot more sliders in this game from Ethan Hollingsworth. Has mostly gone with the sinker, curveball, and changeup over the course of this year and has had very good success. Enter tonight 6-0 with a 3.83 ERA. Now a toss over to first, and McClendon is back standing up with that tag from Casey Harther. Luis Allen sends out another signal to the 27-year-old right-hander. Hollingsworth spent just over a month on the disabled list to begin this year with an ankle injury, but has come back very strong. Here's the 1-2. The runner goes, check swing, throw to second base. McLennan slides, and he's safe at second base. Luis Allen looked like he had him. Brock Bond caught the ball clean, reached back with a tag. And third base umpire Nick Gonzalez said that McLennan was safe with his 15th steal of the year. Another great throw from the knees. What helped out McLennan, that was a breaking ball, so he got the extra split second. With that ball coming towards home plate, but it looked like Allen had thrown him out. So now the lead runner is in scoring position with 2 men down. And the count is 2-2 strikes on David Amberson, hitting .203 in the year with men in scoring position. Hollingsworth comes set. And the 2-2 pitch, swinging a high pop-up behind short. Drifting out is Tyler Kuhn in a shallow left field. Makes the catch and the side is retired. Tyler Kuhn retires David Amberson, catching the pop fly in a shallow left. The Wingnuts tied in the Cleveland homer. There was 1 run, 2 hits, and 1 left on base. We've come halfway at Shaw Park, and we're tied at 1 here on Jewel 101.
When's the last time your bank gave you a great big kiss when you walked through the door?
Excuse me?
That's what they do at Senova Credit Union. Their DOG, you know, Director of Greetings, is a St. Bernard who welcomes all members.
Wow, can he schedule appointments too?
No need. At Senova, you don't need an appointment, ever. Drop by whenever works for you. Bank brighter with Senova Credit Union at one of their 11 branches throughout Manitoba, with convenient 7 days a week service in Winnipeg.
The rebates are back! The rebates are back! What?
The rebates from Reliance Superior Heating and Air Conditioning are back, and I'm not missing out on the great savings this year.
The rebates from Reliance are back by popular demand. Right now, when you buy a high-efficiency Lennox furnace and air conditioner from Reliance, you get $2,000 back in rebates. Call Reliance Superior Heating and Air Conditioning now at 204-697-5666 or hurry over to RelianceSuperior.ca today. Some conditions apply.
This summer, Downtown Winnipeg Biz wants you to get a taste of downtown Winnipeg with restaurant tours starting in June. Hit 4 patios in one evening on the Patio Crawl Tour. Cycle to 7 restaurants on the Movable Feast Tour. Check out up-and-coming musicians at the Almost Famous Music Tour. Let Winnipeg Wine take you to the city's top restaurants for a tasting that includes a night in a luxury downtown hotel. See the full lineup of tours and get your tickets today at downtownwinnipegbiz.com.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball.
This is Ethan Hollingsworth, and you're listening to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Jewel 101.
Bottom of the 5th inning at Shaw Park. We're now tied at 1 after Brent Cleveland hit a solo shot leading out the top of the inning. 7, 8, 9 coming up for the Goldeyes. Jake Blackwood, Luis Allen, and Ryan Pineda against left-hander Frank Del Valle. Del Valle not giving up a hit over the first 3. He gave a back-to-back hits to Webb and Kuhn in the 4th and would allow 1 run to cross in the Casey Harther ground ball to 3rd. Blackwood fly to center his first time up, a right-hand bat, slightly closed stance. And the pitch, change up over the outside half for a strike, and the count is 0-1. Blackwood, another guy with good numbers against lefties on the year, 12 for 41, a .293 average. Blackwood 2 nights ago hit a 2-run homer down the left field line and get the Goldeyes within a couple of runs after the Wingnuts had built an early lead. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, misses down low, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Still without a winner for tonight's trivia question, brought to you by the Place Louis Riel Suite Hotel in downtown Winnipeg. Left-hand pitcher, right-hand batter. The 1-1 to Blackwood. Swinging a line drive to center that's in for a base hit. Jake Blackwood line one just over the head of Frank Del Valle, who had to duck down to avoid getting struck. And the Goldeyes for a second straight inning put the leadoff hitter on base. That'll bring up Luis Allen. He hit a hard line drive, but it was caught by Chris McClendon in the bottom half of the 3rd. The question tonight, who holds the American Association single season record for appearances? And it was somewhat of a trick question. We'll give the hint that there are actually 2 players who share the record. Allen, a right-hand bat, 1-1 the score in the bottom half of the 5th. Blackwood an average lead at first, held by David Espinoza. Outfield deep and a step to left against Luis Allen, who's hit 4 homers on the year. And the first pitch, runner goes, swinging a line drive down the left field line. That's a foul ball. Rick Forney thought that was fair. I might have caught the outside of the chalk. Luis Allen pulling one down the left field line, a hit and run. And had that been fair, Blackwood probably would have scored. That one traveling all the way down into the left field corner. Home plate umpire Joe Stegner pointing left, indicating a foul ball, very close play. Rick Forney again giving signs at 3rd. The count is 0 balls and 1 strike on Luis Allen. Ryan Pineda waiting on deck. The bottom 3rd last night, Blackwood, Allen, and Pineda did a great job in last night's contest. I should say Blackwood, Kimmel, and Pineda in last night's game. Now Del Valle steps and throws over to first, and Jake Blackwood gets back standing up. Kimmel laying down a couple of sacrifice bunts, had a base hit and a hard line out. Ryan Pineda, of course, had the 2-run homer. Blackwood with a couple of hits in last night's game. The go-ahead run on first and nobody out in the bottom half of the 5th. The left-hander is ready. Another step and a toss over to first base. And Blackwood is back with that attack. So both pitchers have done a good job trying to control the runners tonight. Ethan Hollingsworth for the Winnipeg Goldeyes and the 24-year-old left-hander Frank Del Valle for the Wichita Wingnuts. Del Valle, one of several Cuban-born players around the American Association this year. Allen holds the bat back. And the 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses high and outside, 85 miles an hour. And the count goes to 1-1. Goldeyes run coming in the bottom half of the 4th. The Wingnuts run coming in the top half of the 5th. The right fielder, David Amerson, he's played shallow against just about every right-handed bat in this series. He's playing shallow again against Luis Allen. Cleveland and Lucci are a step deep. A step and a toss over. Tricky move by Frank Del Valle. And it was picked up by Jake Black when he gets back ahead of the tag from David Espinoza. Breeze still blowing out towards left field. It's helped a couple of homers over the first 3 nights of this series. Infield looks for a double play. Del Valle comes set. And the 1-1 pitch hit on the ground towards second. Cahalileo fields, flips to second for 1. Corey to first in time for the double play. Allen hit a hard ground ball, but it was in front of the second baseman, Jake Cahalileo, and he starts a 4-6-3 double play. It's now 2 outs and nobody on base. That brings up Ryan Pineda. Pineda drew a walk his first time up. Pineda, a right-handed batter, one of the Goldeyes 6 All-Stars, a .327 average in his last 30 games, with 18 runs scored and 17 runs batted in during that stretch. 2 outs, no one on. Frank Del Valle now back into the windup. The first pitch to Ryan Pineda. Fastball taken high and outside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Del Valle has had trouble with command at times throughout his career. He's walked 4 batters in each of his last 2 starts with the Wingnuts. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swinging a foul coming off the mask of Brent Dean. Hope that he's all right. Dean is shaken up just a bit. And Del Valle comes in to take a look. So the count is 1 ball and 1 strike, and Dean still down on his knees. Zach Canizzo, the first-year trainer of the Wichita Wingnuts, is going to go out and take a look. So Frank Del Valle showing concern for his teammate, and now Kevin Hooper, the manager, comes out. That was a foul tip. It looked like it came right square between the eye part of the mask. A good job by one of the Goldeyes bat boys to come out and bring Brent Dean a glass of water as he tries to reorient himself here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Now ends up catching him right between the eyes there. It's 1-1 on Ryan Pineda. Dean's still a little bit woozy as he is finally able to get to his feet. So Kevin Hooper, the manager, and Zach Canizzo, the trainer, they head back to the dugout. Frank Del Valle will go out towards the mound. And Ryan Pineda digs back in for the right side of the plate. Tomorrow afternoon, a 1:35 scheduled first pitch, the finale of this 4-game series. The Goldeyes are hoping that it is going to be Chris Salamita, the veteran left-hander who's had missed the last few days with some back spasms. The Wingnuts will go with right-hander Tim Brown, who's had a very good year. Monday is off for the Winnipeg Goldeyes, and then the Saints are in town Tuesday for a big 3-game series. The 1-1 pitch. High pop-up shallow right. In comes David Amberson. Amberson camping underneath and makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, and nobody left on base. Through 5 innings at Shaw Park, we're tied at 1 on Jewel 101.
Hi, this is Ivan Saper, owner of Saper Agencies. We offer personal, business, automobile, and travel health insurance. But it's how we sell that makes us different. We strive to remain on the cutting edge of technology and product innovations. We promise you quick, efficient, and effective solutions and 100% satisfaction. See us today, and we'll find you the right solution at the right price. Remember, your best insurance policy is our experience.
Saper Agencies, 2188 McPhillips. Call 694-6787.
Nothing foggy. Nothing to hide. Everything is crystal clear with Duraco windows. Duraco windows are built to last a lifetime, and they guarantee it 100% with their true lifetime warranty. Feel confident that should a seal fail, a lock break, or a weld crack, you are completely covered. A big investment should be backed big time. So know what you're getting right from the start. The choice is clear. Duraco windows. Go to Duraco.com now to book a free consultation.
I'm Larry McIntosh. Los Angeles to Winnipeg, 3,324 kilometers. Portage to Winnipeg, 85 kilometers. Which carrots do you think are fresher? Peak of the market, the vegetables less traveled, and that's a good thing.
Very best from Manitoba, and it's peak of the market.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball.
This is Nick Hernandez, and you're listening to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Jewel 101.
The Winnipeg Goldeyes are asking fans to help with its annual school supplies drive to help thousands of Winnipeg area students by bringing basic school supplies to any Goldeyes home game during the month of August. Special Tools for School collection bins will be located at every ballpark entrance. The Tools for School campaign hopes to guarantee that all children have access to the resources they need to further their education. Jake Lucci leads off against Ethan Hollingsworth, runs up as if to bunt and pulls back. He takes a fastball high and away, and it's 1-0 strikes. The Winnipeg Goldeyes and Staples have partnered with Winnipeg Harvest for a 9th consecutive year for the Tools for School campaign. Staples staff will be on hand at the Goldeyes game on Thursday, August 21st to collect your school supplies and cash donations for Winnipeg Harvest. Lucci swings and misses at a changeup low and inside. It's 1-1 strike. 1-1, we're in the top of the 6th inning, game 3 of this 4-game series. Jake Lucci singled to right in the 3rd, but he was caught stealing to win the inning. A left-hand batter on the 1-1 pitch. Fastball misses low and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Lucci, Corey, and Cahalileo, 9-1-2, the schedule hitters. We have a winner for tonight's trivia question, brought to you by the Place Louis Riel Suite Hotel in downtown Winnipeg. Congratulations to Dave Parker of Arnez, Manitoba, who knew that Nick Walters and Jarrett Simon. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at a fastball, 2-2. Nick Walters and Jarrett Simon of the Wichita Wingnuts share the American Association single-season record for appearances with 57. They both did it during the 2012 year. And Brendan Lafferty right now with 44 appearances in 78 games is on pace to match that. Swinging a line drive to center field, fairly deep, going back Abercrombie, still going back, reaches and makes the catch a step in front of the winning track. Good jump by Reggie Abercrombie. That was a hard line drive the other way. Lucci continues to impress. The number is great, coming in a 375 average, but that's about the 3rd or 4th time in this series that Lucci has driven the ball well to left or left center. But a good play by Abercrombie takes away an extra base hit. 1 out and nobody on. And back to the top of the order for Ryan Corey, 0 for 2. He took a call 3rd strike leading off tonight's game, and then lined out to Donnie Webb in left field in the top half of the 4th. Corey, a right-hand batter, and the first pitch from Hollingsworth. Slider misses just outside. Good pitch, and it's 1-0 strikes. Congratulations, Dave. You won a pair of tickets to an upcoming Goldeyes game. Expect a call from the Goldeyes office sometime next week. Blackwood playing in front of the bag at 3rd. Corey swings and misses at a curveball away. It's 1-1 strike. Over the last 3 or 4 starts, Hollingsworth has really gotten a feel for the curveball and the changeup, and here tonight also the slider, and he has not been afraid to throw those pitches in fastball counts, and that has helped him increase that record to 6-0 entering tonight. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Corey. High fly ball, pretty deep left field. Back goes Webb, onto the track, back at the wall, and it's gone. Ryan Corey with a solo shot over the left field fence. His 10th home run of the year. And the Wingnuts take their first lead of the night at 2-1 here in the top half of the 6th. 10th homer of the year for Ryan Corey. His 45th run batted in. And 2 solo shots from a couple of the Wingnuts All-Stars, Brent Cleveland and Ryan Corey, have given Wichita a 2-1 lead. 1 out and nobody on. Jake Cahalileo stepping to the plate. Cahalileo 0 for 2 with a foul pop-up and a strikeout. Hollingsworth delivers, fastball taken at the knees, and the count is 0-1. And again, Blackwood playing in at 3rd to protect against the bunt. Cahalileo entered tonight 12th in the league and batting a .331. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Hit foul off to the right side. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Jake was born and raised in California, still lives in California in the offseason, but he is of Hawaiian descent, much like Goldeyes relief pitcher Kaoi Downing. Kaoi from Honolulu. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball low and outside, and it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. David Espinoza waiting on deck. 2-1 Wichita in the top of the 6th inning. Hollingsworth has the sign, goes to the windup. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball tapped towards shortstop. Moving in front, Cooney picks it up. Sidearm throw to first. In time to get Cahalileo. And there's 2 men down. Cahalileo meant to check his swing, and the ball caught the barrel of the bat and rolled out to shortstop at about medium velocity. And Tyler Kuhn throws out Cahalileo, who has good speed. So now there's 2 away. David Espinoza stepping up. Espinoza 1 for 2. Flied out to right field in the 1st. Then he singled to right in the 4th, but was picked off to win the inning. 2 runs, 5 hits, and no errors for the Wingnuts. 1 run, 3 hits, and no errors for the Goldeyes. Espinoza, switch hitter, left-handed. Hollingsworth delivers, swinging a foul through the legs of Luis Allen, and the count is 0-1. Espinoza, now a 3-time American Association All-Star. Earned the honor in 2008 and 2010 with the Airhawks, and then this season with the Kansas City T-Bones. Would eventually represent himself in a Wingnuts uniform after the trade. The 0-1 pitch, grounded foul outside of first, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Espinoza in his 14th year of professional baseball. Shortly after getting traded to Wichita, he collected the 1,500th base hit of his professional career. That was in his Wingnuts debut. He's a lifetime .276 hitter and is a career .377 on base percentage. An outstanding number. The 0-2 pitch, breaking ball low and outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Goldeyes trailing by a run in the top half of the 6th. Another tight game between these clubs. The Wingnuts snuck away last night with a 6-5 win. Here's the 1-2 pitch, fastball in tight. Espinoza moved his feet back, and it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Espinoza, just a good all-around player. He's now 32 years of age, but still can run. Can hit for average. He's got some pop. Very good doubles hitter. And he is a good defender in multiple positions. The 2-2 pitch, sinker just outside. And it's now 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Espinoza, as he has done many times over the last 6 years in the American Association, he's gone from 0-2 to a full count. 2 outs, nobody on base. Hollingsworth about to go into his windup, and Espinoza was granted time in the last second. Coming into tonight, Espinoza more walks than strikeouts, 60 free passes, which are second most in the league, against only 56 punch-outs. Outfield plays Espinoza step the other way. The 3-2 pitch popped him up, should be playable. Hollingsworth backing up. Now Blackwood comes in from third, and Blackwood makes the catch to retire the side. The Wingnuts take the lead in the Ryan Corey homer. 1 run, 1 hit, and nobody left on base. Middle of the 6th at Shaw Park. It's 2-1 Wichita on Jewel 101.
Summer in Manitoba sizzles all over the place, from our great beaches to our great ballpark, and especially at Goldeyes Grill, where they sizzle up some of the best hot dogs you've ever tasted. Diamond Dogs, the official hot dog of the Goldeyes, custom made by Winkler Meats. Diamond Dogs are naturally smoked, gluten and allergen-free, and made with quality ingredients that deliver full flavor every bite. Try them in the game or pick them up at your local grocer. Diamond Dogs from Winkler Meats. Product quality is their tradition.
It's a quiet evening at the lake. You can hear the birds singing before bed. The gentle waves. It doesn't get any better than this. Unless you add Archangel Fireworks to your night. Having a birthday? Amp it up with fireworks. Family reunion? Nothing says we missed you like a crackling peony exploding in the sky. Typical Wednesday? You guessed it. You need Archangel Fireworks. 104 Pembina Highway.
There's no feeling like escaping to the lake and catching a few fish. And Pro-Am Tackle has everything to make a fishing trip perfect. Rods, reels, tackle, trolling motors, even live tackle year-round, and much more. Plus, the guys at Pro-Am Tackle are local, know their stuff, and the best fishing spots. Oh, hold on. Hello? Jim? That you waving from the canoe down the lake? Let me send you a selfie with the fish I just caught. I loves me some nature.
Pro-Am Tackle, 1094 Nairn, or follow them on Facebook and Instagram.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball.
This is Ryan Pineda, and you're listening to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Jewel 101.
Bottom of the 6th at Shaw Park. Now 2-1 in favor of the Wingnuts after Ryan Corey had a solo homer to left field. Brock Bond leads things off against Frank Del Valle, pitching with a lead for the first time this evening. Bond 0 for 2, a couple of groundouts to third, and he takes a fastball down low. It's 1 ball and 0 strikes. Del Valle has kept a very manageable pitch count. That was only his 66th of the evening. Bond a switch hitter from the right side, and the 1-0. Fastball high and inside, 2 balls and 0 strikes. So Winnipeg will try and fight from the 1-run deficit. A lot of time left to go for a 1-run game. Bond, Webb, and Kuhn, the top third two up against the 24-year-old left-hander. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Low and inside, 3 balls and 0 strikes. Boy, Winnipeg would love to get Bond on to lead off this inning. Bond 34 walks in just 42 games entering tonight. Tied with Tyler Kuhn for the second most walks on the team. And both trail Donnie Webb by only 1 for the team lead Webb has walked 35 times this year. What makes it more impressive for Bond is that he didn't join Winnipeg until the late part of June. Fastball, low ball 4, close 3-0 pitch, and Bond walks on 4 pitches, the 35th free pass for the veteran second baseman. 1 on and nobody out. Donnie Webb stepping up. So a lot of options here. Bond can run 4 steals. He's held by David Espinosa at first. Rick Forney gives the signs at third base. Donnie Webb, another switch hitter, will bat right-handed against Frank Del Valle. 3rd straight inning. The Goldeyes have the leadoff hitter on base. 2-1 Wingnuts, bottom of the 6th. We'll see if Winnipeg can manufacture the tying run. Chris McClendon playing even with a bag at third. Middle infield looks for 2, and Espinosa holding on Bond at first. Del Valle delivers, fastball taken low and inside, and the count is 1-0. Brent Dean, the catcher, is going to go out to have a talk with Frank Del Valle after 5 straight out of the zone to begin the bottom half of the 6th inning. The Wingnuts during this long road trip, they have 1 leg left following this series. They will head to Lincoln and then return home next Thursday. The NBC World Series that we had mentioned before, one of the largest amateur tournaments. It is hosted at Lawrence Dumont Stadium in Wichita at the beginning of every August. And essentially what it does, it pits college summer teams from across the United States. Fastball knee-high for a strike, and the count is 1-1 on Donnie Webb. At times there have also been international teams from countries such as Japan or Taiwan that have participated in the tournament. Now, once the College Summer League seasons are finished up, the top teams around the country all congregate in Wichita, Kansas for a couple of weeks, and that tournament is now in its 80th season. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Hit in the air towards left field. Long run for Lucci going back. Lucci there, and he makes the catch just in front of the warning track. That sends Bond back to first. Donnie Webb drove that well to left and into the wind. But the ball began to fade, and Lucci a couple steps to his right makes the play. So there's 1 down. The tying run still on first. Tyler Kuhn is now stepping up. Kuhn 1 for 2. He's flying to center and reached on an infield single. That contributed to the rally in the bottom of the 4th, in which the Goldeyes took the 1-0 lead. So Bond on first and 1 man down. Tyler Kuhn, a left-hand hitter, came in at .433 against left-hand pitching this season. Del Valle comes set. And the pitch, swinging a looper towards shallow center. Tough play coming on Cleveland. He has to play it and a hop for a base hit. Bond goes to second, and the Goldeyes have the tying and go-ahead runs on base. Tyler Kuhn flared one off the end of his bat, and he dumps it just in front of his former teammate Brent Cleveland in center. So it's 1st and 2nd and 1 down, and Casey Harther drove in the first Goldeyes run back in the 4th, will now step to the plate. A single could tie, and an extra base hit could put the Goldeyes back in front. Harther tonight 0 for 2, a pair of ground balls to Chris McClendon at third, the second of which drove in a run. Right-hand batter stands up in the box. Frank Del Valle comes set. 1st and 2nd, 1 away. He looks back, and the pitch. Fastball misses outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Casey Harther, 364th minute scoring position. He enters tonight tied for 9th in the league in runs batted in. He is now tied for 8th with his RBI tonight, his 55th of the year. The runners lead 1st and 2nd. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Ground ball towards third. McClendon dives. He's got it. He gets up, touches the third base bag, and is he out or is he safe? And he is out at third base. And now McClendon might be shaken up. Brock Bond came in sliding foot first, and he may have caught McClendon there on the forearm with the spikes. A clean slide there by Brock Bond. It's just a matter of McClendon who made the diving stop behind the bag. He had a scramble towards third. It was his only play as he got up, and he slapped his glove on top of third base to get the force play. And couldn't quite tell the call there from Nick Gonzalez. For a second, it looked like he had thrown his hands up to the side, and perhaps McClendon had dropped that ball, but in the end, the Wingnuts get the out. So now there's 2 away, an unassisted force at third. So Tyler Kuhn moves up to second base, and now Casey Harther is safe at first in the fielder's choice. And McClendon seems to be all right for the moment. Here's Reggie Abercrombie 0 for 2. The first pitch, breaking ball down low. Dean blocks it. He thought about firing behind Kuhn at second, but Cahalaleo did not come in to cover the bag. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Abercrombie 0 for 2. He has grounded out to third, and he is struck out swinging. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Wichita. 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors for Winnipeg. The outfield deep and a step to left. Reggie could change this game with 1 swing of the bat. The left-hander is ready. And the 1-0 pitch. Fastball high and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Abercrombie, 15 home runs this year, tied for 4th in the league. Right now, a single should tie the game with Tyler Kuhn's speed on second and 2 outs. Wingnuts with good arms throughout the outfield. Lucci in left field, Cleveland in center, and Amberson in right. Cleveland participated in the outfield throwing accuracy contest during the skills competition a couple of Mondays ago. The 2-0 pitch, swing and a bouncer foul. Came off the outside of the plate, out in front of a change at 79 miles an hour. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike, and the former big league outfielder Reggie Abercrombie. Abercrombie steps back in for the right side. Del Valle getting a new baseball from home plate umpire Joe Stegner. Another good game between these 2 clubs. Outfield deep and a few steps to left. 2 on and 2 out, bottom half of the 6th. Del Valle ready, and the 2-1 pitch. Fastball low and in. Knocked down by Dean. No advance by the runners. And now it's 3 balls and a strike. So we'll see if Abercrombie gets the fastball here in the 3-1 count. Del Valle has thrown a couple of change-ups behind the count in tonight's game. Reggie, a very good fastball hitter. On deck is Josh Mazzola. Back in the lineup for the first time since the series in Sioux City. Tyler Kuhn, the tying run, is on second. Casey Hart, the lead run, is on first. Frank Del Valle comes set. The 3-1 Abercrombie. High and inside, ball 4, and that'll load the bases. So Reggie draws the walk, the 3rd issued by Frank Del Valle, and the 2nd in this inning. Now the tying run 90 feet away. The go-ahead run is in scoring position. Abercrombie on first following the 5-pitch walk. Josh Mazzola steps up. 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded out to 3rd and flied out to right field. Mazzola had last played in the continuation of Tuesday's suspended game. That was in the early evening on Wednesday in Sioux City. He never actually got another at bat. He went back to his position in right, but was later pinch hit for by Sam Kimmel. Mazzola with very good power. Bases full and 2 outs. Del Valle from the stretch. And the first pitch on the outside corner with a fastball at the knees. The count is 0-1. Mazzola on the year, 274th men in scoring position. He's driven in 45 runs, and 34 of those have come in his last 43 games played. Kuhn on 3rd, Harther on 2nd, Abercrombie on 1st and 2 outs. Del Valle working off the 3rd base side of the rubber, and now will step back as Mazzola is granted time at the plate. Wingnuts 2, Goldeyes 1, last of the 6th. Mazzola right-hand batter, wide open stance. Dean flashes out the sign. Del Valle is ready. And the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at a changeup. 76 miles an hour. And Del Valle gets in front, 0-2. Wind still blowing out to left field. Game 3 of a 4-game series at Shaw Park. Josh Mazzola, a lifetime .304 hitter in this stadium with 22 homers and 86 driven in 134 games played. Kuhn on 3rd, Harther on 2nd, Abercrombie in 1st and 2 outs. Here's the set from Del Valle. The 0-2 pitch, breaking ball, grounded left side, tough out, McClendon fields, goes to 2nd, and it's just in time to get Abercrombie. A slow bouncer to 3rd, and McClendon went the short way to 2nd base, and they just get Reggie Abercrombie to end the bottom half of the 6th. No runs, 1 hit, and 3 left on base, 6 complete. Here at Shaw Park, it's 2-1 Wichita on Jewel 101.
Most days, you can predict what life's going to throw at you.
He's 2 for 2 at bat so far today.
But every once in a while...
Strike! Oh, he did not see that coming.
When life throws you a curveball, Ranger Insurance will protect what's important to you. Whether it's home, life, auto, or commercial, they have a plan that fits your needs. Ranger Insurance, putting relationships first. For the protection you deserve, visit rangerinsurance.ca.
At Cal Tire, they are the tire and wheel experts. They have the best selection of tires and wheels in the city, all at prices that can't be beat. If you find a lower advertised price, bring it in and they'll match it or even beat it. This spring, pay attention to your vehicle by taking it to the experts at Cal Tire. It's time to talk to Cal at any one of their 5 convenient Winnipeg locations.
Support your own, the Goldeyes. And Fort Garry Brewing. Located right here in Winnipeg, Fort Garry Brewing is Manitoba's #1 brewery, crafting a full spectrum of delicious beers and ales, including the award-winning Fort Garry Dark and the fan-favorite Fort Garry Pale, both of which are available at Shaw Park, so cheer on the home team. Fort Garry Brewing, Manitoba made, Manitoba's own.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball on Jewel 101.
Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball is brought to you by MTS. Get unlimited internet in Manitoba on all your devices only with MTS. Top of the 7th, a 2-1 lead for Wichita. And the Wingnuts will send up Cleveland, Testa, and McClendon 4, 5, and 6 against Ethan Hollingsworth, who's had another very good start. Right now, he's on the short end of a 2-1 score on a couple of solo homers, including one by the guy at the plate right now, Brent Cleveland. His 15th of the year. It came leading off the 5th, a long drive to left center. And it was Cleveland's 7th homer in his last 12 games. He swings and bounces one on the left, moving over Blackwood. High hop, he fields, turns, fires to first in time to get Cleveland. Great play by Jake Blackwood. That ball is headed towards the hole. Blackwood at a range wide to his left to stab it. He turned and got Cleveland by a step at first base. We'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard in this inning, brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross, the color of caring. The Gary South Shore Railcats lead the Fargo Moorhead Redhawks 2-1. They're in the top of the 6th at Newman Outdoor Field in North Dakota. Carlo Testa 0 for 2, a left-hand bat, and he takes a curveball into the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. Lincoln and Sioux Falls, no score. Top of the 3rd at Haymarket Park in Lincoln, Nebraska. Blackwood playing even with a bag at third base. Testa, big left-hand batter. He stands off the plate. The 0-1 pitch. Changeup misses outside, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. The Amarillo Sox lead the Grand Prairie Airhawks 2-0 in the top of the 3rd at Quick Trip Park. The St. Paul Saints and Sioux City Explorers have no score. Bottom of the 2nd at Midway Stadium. Swinging a grounder past the mound. Bond moving in front. He fields, turns those to first in time to get Testa. So there's 2 outs and nobody on base. That'll bring up Chris McClendon, 1 for 2 with a single and a stolen base. But his biggest contributions tonight have been on the defensive side. McClendon has handled 8 chances at third tonight, mostly on ground balls, but he's caught a line drive. He had a big play and a force play as well. And McClendon will stand against Ethan Hollingsworth for a 3rd time tonight. Kansas City leads Laredo 2-0. They're in the top of the 1st at Unitrade Stadium. That's the regularly scheduled contest between the clubs. And the continuation of the game suspended last night due to the league's curfew rule. The Lemurs won 10-9 in 11 innings. McClendon grounds one to the right. Couple hops fielded by Bond from the outfield. Grass throws to first. And Ethan Hollingsworth has a 1-2-3 top of the 7th on just 5 pitches. Nothing across. Time to stretch here at Shaw Park. The Wingnuts lead 2-1 on Jewel 101.
We all love to save. Save time, save gas, save space. And what gives you the biggest smile is when you save money. But will your money save itself? Don't bank on it. Count on Steinbach Credit Union instead. With great savings rates that start paying interest from $1 and a wide range of GICs that make saving even easier, you'll be smiling from year to year. Want to save? Talk to SCU, because we're taking care of the world's most important money, yours.
Let's say you're looking for the best waste company in the market. One that's been recognized not 5, not 6, not 7, but 8 years in a row as the best in the business. Know who I'm talking about? Think silver trucks and green bins. That's right, Johnson Waste Management. Not bad for a locally owned family-run business fighting it out in the alley. Johnson Waste Management, doing their best to be the very best.
To some, he is a hero. To others, merely heroic. But to us, he's a Pools Hall of Famer. Raised on highlights and minor league stats, he played his game cards like he played Division 12 slow pitch. To win. Home team? Check. Visiting team? Check. Champion? Check. Be a legend with Sports Select. Pools players won over $7 million last year. Pick the winning teams today at your lottery retailer. Remember, keep it a game.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball.
This is Casey Harther, and you're listening to Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball on Jewel 101.
Bottom half of the 7th at Shaw Park. Goldeyes this week is brought to you by Boston Pizza. After the game, you can have any of our more than 100 delicious Boston Pizza menu items delivered to your door. Call 925-4111 or do some finger cooking at bostonpizza.com. Goldeyes only down by 1 as we hit the later innings. 7, 8, 9 coming up against Frank Del Valle, Jake Blackwood, Luis Allen, and Ryan Pineda. Blackwood 1 for 2, a single to center and a fly out to shallow center field. Ethan Hollingsworth had a great inning in the top of the 7th. He sent the Wingnuts down in order on just 5 pitches, all on ground ball outs. So Hollingsworth had 93 pitches through 7 strong. He's done a great job again tonight. And now hoping the Goldeyes can scratch out a run or 2 here late in the game against Frank Del Valle. First pitch, fastball outside. It's 1 ball and 0 strikes. Michael Zuzalek, the right-hander who worked a scoreless 7th last night, is warming up down the right field bullpen for Wichita. Del Valle only at 84 pitches right now, the 1-0. Curveball stays high and outside. It's 2 balls and 0 strikes. He's pitched into some trouble the last 3 innings. In the 4th, 5th, and 6th, the Goldeyes had the leadoff man on base. But he has held Winnipeg right now to just 1 run on 4 base hits. He has walked 3, having walked 4 in each of his previous 2 starts. Lefty to righty. Fastball misses outside. 3 balls and 0 strikes. So Jake Blackwood ahead of the count 3-0. He's walked 19 times in the year, and see if he takes at least 1 pitch. Zuzala continues to throw down the right field line. Frank Del Valle behind 3 balls and 0 strikes in the Goldeyes third baseman. And the left-hander goes into the windup. Here's the pitch. On the outside corner, 3-1. That pitch looked a few inches off the plate. Joe Stegner threw up the right arm, and it's now 3 balls and 1 strike. Blackwood 5 homers on the year, hitting .293 against left-hand pitching this season. Del Valle's 3-1. Hit in the air to left field pretty deep. Back goes Lucci onto the track, looking up at the wall, and it's gone! Jake Blackwood ties the game with a line drive homer over the left center field fence. He homers for a 2nd time in the last 3 nights. It's his 6th homer of the year, and it's 2-2 in the bottom half of the 7th inning. A big homer for Jake Blackwood leading off the bottom half of the 7th. Luis Allen now steps to the plate. That home run is brought to you by Home Run Sports. We've got you covered from prospect to pro. Our Home Run Sports home run winner is Angie Walters. Allen 0 for 2 with a lineout and a ground ball double play. Fastball taken high and outside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Congratulations, Angie Walters. Stop by Home Run Sports to receive your $20 gift card. Goldeyes fans can enter to win all season long by visiting Home Run Sports, located on Bishop Grandin, 1 block west of La Jamodier. Home Run Sports, get ready for your game. Allen takes a fastball high and away, and it's 2 balls and 0 strikes. So 2-2 in the bottom half of the 7th. Zuzala continues to throw. Now that the game is tied, however, Del Valle might finish up this inning. Here's the 2-0 to Allen. Fastball, that's on the outside corner at the knees, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. This series concludes tomorrow afternoon, a 1:35 start. It is Library Day presented by the Winnipeg Public Library. Fans can win great prizes all afternoon. Kids can run the bases following the game. And the first 4,500 in attendance receive a Goldie and Goldette bookmark courtesy of the Winnipeg Public Library. The 2-1 to Allen. Swinging a line drive left field. That's in for a base hit. Jake Lucci plays it in a couple of hops. A hard line drive single to left following the Jake Blackwood home run, and the go-ahead run is on first with nobody out. Ryan Pineda 0 for 1 with a walk stepping up. See if Rick Forney puts anything on with Luis Allen on first. Monday an off day, and then the Saints are in town for 3. Big inning Tuesday, August 12th, 7 o'clock, presented by Ranger Insurance. We'll have post-game fireworks. Fans can enter to win an Alumacraft boat, and the Rockets will be on the free press stage beginning at 6. Kevin Hooper comes out. He's going to take the ball from Frank Del Valle, who did a good job tonight. He's responsible for Luis Allen on first. Michael Zuzalek will appear for a 2nd straight night, and we'll tell you more about him after this on Jewel 101.
This is Goldeyes Baseball on 100.7 CFJL, Jewel 101, Winnipeg.
Watching the game is something to enjoy. But remember, drinking any alcohol and driving don't mix. Drinking and driving puts you and others in danger. Your best bet is a designated driver who has had no alcohol. Enjoy the game, but whatever you do, don't drink and drive. To keep Manitobans safe behind the wheel, police are increasing enforcement near you. Watch for them. A message from Manitoba Public Insurance.
Is your vehicle's interior looking worn out? Don't sell it, detail it. The Chamois Car Wash and Detail Centers offer a wide variety of professional detailing services that will make your vehicle's interior look great again. From a small spot shampoo to a complete bumper-to-bumper cleaning. Packages start at only $64.95 and include a famous Chamois full-service car wash. No appointment necessary. Come into any of the 3 Chamois locations today. Waverly, Reinders, or St. James.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball.
This is outfielder Donnie Webb, and you're listening to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Jewel 101.
This pitching change is brought to you by Johnson Waste Management. Call 452-0909. Right-hander Michael Zuzalik takes over for the starting pitcher Frank Del Valle. He can't get a win, but he could take the loss with Luis Allen on first and nobody out. It's a 2-2 game in the bottom half of the 7th following a clutch homer from Jake Blackwood to left center field leading off this inning. Zuzalik makes his 35th appearance of the year, 1-0 with no saves, a 3.38 ERA. Zuzalik 32 innings pitched, 37 hits, 12 walks, 23 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .294 against the second-year professional Michael Zuzalik. 6'3", 205 pounds, just 24 years old, born in Austin, Texas, resides in Georgetown, Texas in the offseason. He's a big right-hand pitcher. He's actually a left-handed batter. And the righty will work here to Ryan Pineda, 0 for 1 in this game with a walk that came on 4 pitches in the 3rd. Pineda, a right-hand batter, go-ahead run on first and nobody out. Zuzalik from the belt, holds the set, and the first pitch. Pineda squares, pulls back, curveball low, throw behind the runner at first. Espinosa fumbled for a second. It came in a hop. He's able to corral it, and Allen is back safe. Brent Dean snapped a throw behind the runner at first, and Allen just gets back in time. So Pineda squared around on the first pitch. And we'll see if Rick Forney keeps the bunt on with a 1-0 count. They put a strike on the scoreboard. Could have sworn that pitch had been taken down low by Ryan Pineda. Third baseman Chris McClendon playing even with the bag at third base. Pineda, a right-hand batter. 1 on and nobody out. Zuzalik comes set, and Pineda gives himself right up. The pitch bunted foul off to the right side. Looks like the count is no balls and 2 strikes. So that first pitch had been a called strike on Ryan Pineda. This one was fouled off towards the screen. So 0-2. We'll see the bunt stays on with a 2-strike count. Brock Bond, the leadoff hitter, waiting on deck. Rick Forney gives the signs over at third. Allen, not a fast runner, is on first base, held by David Espinosa. 2-2 in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Zuzalik worked a scoreless 7th last night before turning things over to Daniel Bennett, who earned the win in relief. A set from Zuzalik. And the 0-2 pitch, curveball check swing. It's down low, appeal at first, and no go, says Bobby Feaster. Zuzalik with one of the best curveballs in the American Association. It is a true bender, 12-6. It'll start right around eye level of the hitters, and it cuts right through the heart of the strike zone. He just threw one there to Ryan Pineda. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes on the Goldeyes right fielder. Pineda starting in right with Josh Mazzola back in the lineup at DH. Not quite able to go back into the field, but the Goldeyes certainly wanted Mazzola's bat in the lineup. Here's the 1-2. Fastball misses just low, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Zuzalik, along with that great curveball, a fastball which has been around 89 to 90 miles an hour the last 2 nights. In his last 16 appearances over 15 and a third innings, Zuzalik has allowed just 1 earned run. Pitched in the Texas Rangers system last year. Allen a short lead on first and nobody out. Zuzalik ready. And the 2-2 pitch. Fastball bounced foul and towards the left. It's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pineda came in at 293 homers and 26 runs batted in. Each team is in a lead tonight. Goldeyes at 1-0 and the Wingnuts at 2-1. It is 2-2 in the bottom half of the 7th. Infield looks for a double play. Corey at short and Cahalileo at second base. Outfield medium depth and a couple of strides to left center. Pineda a slightly open stance. Zuzalik checks over the shoulder. Allen stretching the lead. Another 2-2 pitch. Curveball swing and a miss. He got him. 69 miles an hour on that big breaking curve from Michael Zuzalik, and there's one away here in the bottom half of the 7th. On Wednesday, August 13th, Country Night against the St. Paul Saints at 7 o'clock. Wear your best country outfit to win some great prizes. Leanne Pearson will be on the free press stage beginning at 6. And then on Thursday, August 14th, Game 3 against the Saints, Turkey Night, presented by Granny's Poultry. Enjoy a barbecue turkey breast with Danny's barbecue sauce served on a bun with a soda for just $5. Proceeds go to the Winnipeg Goldeyes Field of Dreams Foundation. First pitch to Brock Bond, hitting left-handed for the first time tonight, is a fastball taken low and outside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Big Slick will be on the free press stage beginning at 6, and we'll have a 9-inning turkey giveaway courtesy of Granny's Poultry. The 1-0 pitch, line drive caught by Corey. He looks Allen back to first base. Brock Bond hit that very hard the other way, but it was right at Ryan Corey. He reached over to his right and made the backhand catch. So now there's 2 outs. Donnie Webb will step to the plate. 5, 9, 14, 16, and $20 tickets for all Goldeyes games are on sale now through Ticketmaster by calling 1-855-GOLDEYE, visiting Ticketmaster.ca, or visiting any Ticketmaster location, including the box office at Shaw Park. 2-2, bottom half of the 7th. Allen on first and 2 men down. Here's Donnie Webb, who will also bat left-handed for the first time today. 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored. Zuzalik for the stretch. Breaking ball on the outside corner. And the count is no balls and 1 strike. Frank Del Valle goes 6+, 2 runs both earned, 6 hits, 3 walks, 1 strikeout, 92 pitches. And he is still responsible for Luis Allen on first base. 1 on and 2 out, bottom half of the 7th. The 0-1 to Webb. Fastball a little bit low and outside. And it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Michael Irvin Zuzalik, born in Austin, Texas, resides in Georgetown, Texas in the offseason, played at the University of Texas Pan American in his home state, finished in 2012 and went undrafted, signed to the Rangers as a free agent last year. The 1-1 pitch, curveball down low, nice stop by Brent Dean, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. And boy, the more you see Brent Dean behind the plate, the Wingnuts really don't miss a beat with Chris McMurray out of the lineup over the last 2 nights. Dean very athletic for a catcher, quick feet. Just made a nice stop and a curveball in the dirt. And he has thrown out a base runner in this series. Zuzalik last year playing for Spokane in the short season Northwest League and Myrtle Beach in the High 8 Carolina League, combined for a 2.41 ERA. The 2-1 to Webb. Fastball just outside, 3 balls and a strike. So Donnie ahead in the count. That 89-mile-an-hour heater from Michael Zuzalik just missed away. 3-1 on the Goldeyes left fielder. Webb earlier tonight made a nice running catch on a ball hit to left by Ryan Corey. Luis Allen is the go-ahead run on first and 2 outs. 2-2, bottom half of the 7th inning. The 3-1 pitch. Fastball called, strike over the outside corner. That one looked a little bit off the plate, and Joe Stegner is at a bit of a wider strike zone than usual. Stegner usually one of the tightest strike zones in the American Association. So now it's 3-2 on Webb, and Luis Allen will get the automatic start. Espinoza is going to play behind him. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Winnipeg. 2 runs, 5 hits, and no errors for Wichita. Webb a switch hitter from the left. Zuzalik comes set at the belt. Dean setting up outside. Runner goes, 3-2 pitch. Line drive, 1 hopper snagged by Espinoza, and he takes it to first base to end the inning. Espinoza stopped holding on Allen with a 3-2 count. And that's just a tough break there for the Goldeyes as Espinoza ended up in the right position to make the backhand play on a ball hit very hard by Donnie Webb. The Goldeyes do tie to the homer from Jake Blackwood. There was 1 run, 2 hits, and 1 left on base. And at the end of 7 at Shaw Park, it's the Goldeyes 2 and the Wingnuts 2 on Jewel 101.
It's a Winnipeg tradition. The Pony Corral Grand Park presents the original Sunday night cruise night. Come on out and enjoy food and drinks on the patio, all while the city's most impressive hot rods, motorcycles, and special interest vehicles strut their stuff. Oh, and don't forget about the hourly prizes. Sunday night cruise at the Pony Corral, hosted by the Fab 50s Car Club, sponsored by Piston Ring.
It's summer. The perfect time to kick back and relax with friends and family. This summer, make it easy on yourself with catering by Chicken Delight. From a feast for a few to feeding your whole crew, Chicken Delight will put a smile on everyone's face with their famous chicken, fabulous pizza, ribs that rock, and more. Pick it up or have it delivered. Give us a call or send us your catering order at chickendelight.com.
So don't cook tonight. Tonight, all right. Call Chicken Delight.
Save on your next energy bill with helpful tips from Manitoba Hydro. Even small changes can make a big impact on the environment. Install dimmer switches on the lights you use most often to control exactly how much light and electricity you use. Unplug your cell phone chargers once they finish charging. Chargers continue to draw energy even after your device is fully charged. And whenever possible, use cold water for laundry. For more ways to conserve energy, visit hydro.mb.ca.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball.
This is left-hand pitcher Brendan Lafferty, and you're listening to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Jewel 101.
Top of the 8th inning here at Shaw Park. Winnipeg ties the ball game with a clutch homer from Jake Blackwood leading off the bottom half of the 7th inning. So it's a 2-2 game as we go to the top of the 8th. Ethan Hollingsworth has been outstanding. He'll start this inning having thrown 93 pitches. He'll face 7, 8, and 9 Brent Dean, David Amberson, and Jake Lucci. Dean is 0 for 2. He's grounded out to third and flied out to right. He's played very good defensively in this series. So another tight game between these clubs. Last night's game wasn't decided until the top half of the 9th. The Wingnuts scratching out their 6th run to win 6-5 and holding off a Goldeyes rally in the bottom half. Dean swings, lifts a fly ball to medium right. Ryan Pineda in a couple of steps, makes the catch, still moving towards the infield, and Dean is retired on 1 pitch. So Hollingsworth, who had a 5-pitch 7th, retiring the side in order, gets Dean a fly out to right on the first pitch here in the 8th. Winnipeg does get a right-hander warming up in their bullpen down the left field line, and it is right-hander Chris Kissick. David Amberson stepping up. Amberson 0 for 2. Hollingsworth made a nifty play to rob him of a base hit in the 3rd. A liner that was about to hit the pitcher's mound. And Ethan stuck his glove down just above the dirt and caught up before it had a chance to bounce. Amberson then popped out to Tyler Kuhn in shallow left field in the top of the 5th inning. Amberson, a right-hand batter. Hollingsworth delivers. Sinker over the outside corner for a strike, and the count is 0-1. So Hollingsworth pitching on 3 days of rest, much the way that Nick Hernandez did on Wednesday, and much the way that John Sintas did the following night in the opener of this series. And Nat Jackson again last night. Fastball over the outside corner, 0-2. And Hollingsworth is thriving here on short rest. 2-2 top of the 8th with the bases empty and 1 down. 0-2 on David Amberson. Came in at 271. Here's the pitch. Slider taken outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Former Major League left-hander Alex Hinshaw is warming up inside the Wichita bullpen. 1-2 on Amberson, who has struck out 68 times this year in 76 games played. Hollingsworth to the windup. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball just low. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. That one painted the inside corner. And Joe Stegner said it was just beneath the knees the right-hand batter, David Amberson. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Slider misses outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Amberson, who doesn't have a ton of walks this year, 20 against those 68 strikeouts, is showing off some patience against Ethan Hollingsworth. He's gone from 0-2 to a full count. Hollingsworth kicks and deals. The payoff pitch, swinging a foul tip, held by Allen for strike 3. Hollingsworth threw a breaking ball as Amberson slams the barrel of his bat in front of home plate. Hollingsworth picks up his 4th strikeout of the night. And it's 2 outs and nobody on. Hollingsworth through 7 2/3 innings. Just 2 earned runs coming in a pair of solo shots. He has scattered 5 hits. He has not walked a batter. And he has now struck out 4. Here's Jake Lucci, 1 for 2, a single and a line out to center field, a left-handed batter. Blackwood plays even with a bag at third base. Casey Harder is playing near the line over at first. Lucci holds the bat high, and the first pitch, changeup into the knees, 78 miles an hour for strike 1. Kissick just about ready if needed. Ethan Hollingsworth now at 101 pitches over 7 2/3, hoping to get the final out of this inning himself. Goldeyes 2, Wingnuts 2 in the 8th. Outfield straight away and a step deep. The 0-1 pitch. Change up just outside, and it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Lucci without a home run in 13 games as a member of the Wingnuts, but he has shown off some good gap-to-gap power over the last 3 nights. He hit one towards left center in the 6th inning tonight. That was run down by Reggie Abercrombie. Changeup hit in the air towards deep right. On the run, Pineda going back towards the fence. It's going to one-up off the wall. Lucci is on his way to second as Pineda fires in, and Lucci will get there standing up with a 2-out double. So Jake Lucci hits the ball hard for a 3rd time, a 2-out double to right on the 103rd pitch of the evening by Ethan Hollingsworth. And now it's back to the top for Ryan Corey. Chris Kissick ready to go. Here comes Rick Forney. And we'll see if Forney makes the change. Corey hit a solo shot to left that gave the Wingnuts a 2-1 lead his last time up. Hollingsworth terrific tonight, over 7 2/3 innings. Forney has not yet made the switch. Kissick ready if needed. Forney is going to have a talk here. He gave Matt Jackson the opportunity in a similar situation last night to stay in the game. Jackson had gone 6 2/3 following a 2-out double from Ryan Corey. And Forney, for a 2nd straight night, he's going to reward his starting pitcher for a job well done. Hollingsworth will get a chance here to finish up the 8th inning himself. So Hollingsworth, who has had 103 pitches, will battle Ryan Corey for a 4th time tonight. He struck him out looking, leading off the game. He lined out to left field in the 4th, and then Corey on a 1-1 count in the 6th popped his 10th homer of the year to left field, which at the time made it 2-1 in favor of Wichita. So the go-ahead run is on second with 2 men down. Here Corey is only looking for a single. He's 10 for 25 in the year with 2 outs and men in scoring position, an average of 400. Hollingsworth from the stretch. Fastball misses low and outside, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Lucci has very good speed. Blackwood has to protect against a bunt at third. He plays even with the bag. So Hollingsworth a little over 100 pitches, trying to work his way through 8 full. It's 2-2 in the top of the 8th. Corey now has 45 runs batted in this season. Here's a breaking ball taken low and outside, and the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. Ethan Hollingsworth is season high in innings, 7 2/3. He has now matched that here tonight and done it on 2 previous occasions, July 6th at Fargo and July 31st at Sioux Falls. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Goldeyes. 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors for the Wingnuts. Righty to righty. The 2-0 pitch on the outside corner with a slider. And once again, Hollingsworth does a good job to throw an off-speed pitch behind in the count. So now it's 2-1. Ryan Corey with one of the best eyes in the American Association. The go-ahead run on second, and Jake Lucci. He's getting a sizable lead. Outfield playing, Corey is step deep and straight away. Hollingsworth comes set. And the 2-1 pitch. Fastball just a little bit low and outside, and now it's 3-1. So a big pitch coming up here for Ethan Hollingsworth. Another dangerous hitter waits on deck in Jake Cahalileo. Well, Hollingsworth challenged Corey with a fastball or try and throw a breaking ball for a strike. That slider or curve. Infield a half step to the left, with the exception of Casey Harder. The 3-1 pitch. Fastball into the knees for a strike. A sinker with very good movement late at the knees, and it's now 3-2. So Hollingsworth has worked a full count, now at 108 pitches, and facing Ryan Corey for a 4th time in the game. Jake Lucci leads off second with 2 outs. Crowd tonight at Shaw Park of over 5,800. Trying to will Ethan Hollingsworth to a 24th out. The 3-2 pitch, and it's just low ball 4. He threw him a changeup at 79 miles an hour, looked in the identical location as the 3-1 pitch, and Hollingsworth does not get the call from home plate umpire Joe Stegner. It's the first walk issued by Hollingsworth tonight, and it puts runners on first and second and 2 down. So Jake Cahalileo will now step up. Cahalileo is 0 for 3 in the game. He is fouled out to first, struck out swinging, and grounded out to short. First and second, 2 outs. Hollingsworth ready. And the pitch. Fastball taken low and inside. The count is 1-0. Cahalileo this year, 12 of 43 with 2 outs and men in scoring position, hitting .279. He has come through with a 2-out RBI hit in each of the first 2 games of the series. Lucci on second, Corey on first and 2 outs. Force on the infield. The 1-0 pitch. Line drive towards the gap in left center. Long run for Abercrombie, and Webb won't get it. That's in for a base hit. Around third as Lucci will score. Corey's going to be waved to the plate. Here's the relay throw from Tyler Kuhn. It's not going to be in time. Corey scores standing up, and the Wingnuts regain the lead at 4-2. Jay Cahalileo with a 2-run double to left center field. He comes through for a 3rd straight game with a 2-out hit, and the Wingnuts are in front by 2 runs on Cahalileo's 57th and 58th runs batted into the season. Rick Fournier will come out and make the change. Ethan Hollingsworth gets a well-deserved standing ovation here at Shaw Park. 7 2/3 innings and battle to the final pitch that he threw. And now Chris Kissick will come and he'll try and keep the Goldeyes within a couple of runs. We'll tell you more about him after this on Jewel 101.
The real estate news is online and connected. Connected to the latest MLS listings wherever you are. Print, online, mobile. It's in your hands. Visit WinnipegRealEstateNews.com. The real estate news is online and connected. Connected to the latest MLS listings wherever you are. Print, online, mobile. It's in your hands. Visit WinnipegRealEstateNews.com.
The only thing better than taking in a Goldeyes game is taking to the water. Now you have a chance to breeze across the lake in your very own Alumacraft boat. At select Goldeyes home games, swing by the promenade before the game and enter to win a V16 Series Alumacraft boat complete with a trailer and a 25 horsepower motor, courtesy of Alumacraft and the Winnipeg Goldeyes. The winner will be drawn during the last series of the regular season. Can't wait? Purchase your Alumacraft boat at Girton Marine in Winnipeg.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball.
This is Ethan Hollingsworth, and you're listening to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Jewel 101.
Pitching change is brought to you by Johnson Waste Management. Call 452-0909. A tough way for this outing to finish for Ethan Hollingsworth, who was outstanding over 7 2/3 innings. The final pitch, he throws a 2-out, 2-run double to left center for Jay Cahalileo, allowing the Wingnuts to regain the lead at 4-2. And now Chris Kissick takes over with Cahalileo on second and David Espinoza stepping to the plate. Kissick will make his 37th appearance of the year. 0-4, 12 saves and a 3.28 ERA. 35 2/3 innings, 36 hits. He's walked only 9 and struck out 31. Opponents are hitting .261 against Chris Kissick this year. Espinoza 1 for 3 with a single, and he takes a changeup on the outside half for a strike. It's 0-1. That's a pitch that Kissick has been really working on over the last couple of weeks since right before the All-Star break, and it's given him a third weapon to go along with the fastball and the splitter. Espinoza crowding home. Blackwood even with a bag at third. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses inside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Kissick, 6'4", 185 pounds. A 29-year-old right-hander from Trail, British Columbia. Wingnuts 4, Goldeyes 2. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Alex Hinshaw is ready to go. He is the setup man for Wichita and will likely take over in the bottom half of the 8th. Cahalileo runs well. He's on second. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Espinoza. Swing and a miss to the splitter. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kissick took the tough loss last night. He gave up the leadoff double to David Amberson, and after Amberson was bunted over to third, Kissick got ahead of Ryan Corey, and he made a good pitch. Corey was able to reach down and grounded it softly between third and short to drive in the game-winning run. Kissick works off the first base side of the rubber. 1-2 the count on David Espinoza. Outfield straight away and a step deep. Cahalileo leading off second. And the 1-2 pitch. Hit on the ground to short. 2 ups, backhanded by Kuhn. Steps in, fires to first in time to get Espinoza. And the inning is over. The Wingnuts scored 2 runs. There were 2 hits and 1 left on base. Middle of the 8th at Shaw Park. It's 4-2 Wichita on Jewel 101.
You had a long night, and you're hardly awake. You need breakfast, but it's 11 o'clock. Does that even matter? Why eat somewhere that tells you you can't have what you want when you want it? Just go to Robin's anytime for their breckwich, made with everything you want, like egg, tantalizing ham, perfect bacon, delicious sausage, and of course melt-in-your-mouth cheese that you can enjoy on a croissant bun, wrap, or bagel. Served all day.
Only from your hometown hero, Robin's. Fast, fresh, and friendly.
What should we bring to the lake for dinner tonight?
Something easy that we can throw in the cooler. Turkey.
Granny's Poultry introduces their seasoned boneless turkey breast.
Sounds good.
Really good.
Pick up a Granny's frozen seasoned boneless turkey breast from your neighborhood grocery store. Throw it in the cooler, and by the time you get to the lake, it's barbecue ready. Granny's Poultry, your local poultry farmer's own cooperative. To find a retailer or for simply delicious recipes, visit grannys.ca. Granny's, good-natured.
Water cooler's out.
Never fear! As a powerful elemental, I shall conjure forth a refreshing aquatic spring to quench our thirst. Just, give it a minute.
Clean, great-tasting drinking water isn't magic. It's Culligan. Culligan Water has been serving Winnipeg and surrounding areas for 58 years. As a member of the CBWA, you can count on their highly trained staff to deliver the best possible water treatment products and services, drinking water systems, and bottled water. Culligan Water. Better water. Pure and simple.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball.
This is Chris Salamini, and you're listening to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Jewel 101.
Bottom of the 8th inning at Shaw Park, the Winnipeg Goldeyes trail 4-2 after Jake Cahalileo hit a 2-out, 2-run double to left center field. So Winnipeg will have to fight from 2 runs down. They've got 6 outs left to work with, and they will have to try and come back against one of the top 1-2 bullpen combinations in the league. We saw Matt Navarez, the closer, last night, and here we'll get a look at the former Major League left-hander Alex Hinshaw, who has had a terrific season for Wichita. Hinshaw, 30 games all in relief. He's 2-1, 2 saves, and a 2.03 ERA. 26 2/3 innings, 14 hits, 17 walks, 38 strikeouts. Opponents hitting just 161 against Alex Hinshaw. Hinshaw, 6'3", 185 pounds, a 31-year-old left-hander from Pomona, California. He resides in Beaverton, Oregon in the offseason. Hinshaw began the year as kind of the flex lefty, a guy that can be used anywhere from the 6th, 7th, or 8th. He has moved into the setup role since the Wingnuts traded Patrick Mincy to the Kansas City T-Bones for David Espinoza. It'll be 3, 4, and 5. Tyler Kuhn, Casey Harther, and Reggie Abercrombie. Kuhn, a left-hand batter, 2 out of 3. So right now, Michael Zuzalik, who worked the scoreless 7th, is on the long side of this 4-2 score. Hinshaw working out of the stretch, no one on base, making his first appearance of the series. The first pitch, fastball, a little bit high and inside, 1 ball and no strikes, 89 miles an hour. Hinshaw last pitched in the final game against the Redhawks. That was on Wednesday night. He earned the save after Matt Navarez had worked 3 nights in a row. He struck out the side in order in the 4-3 victory at Newman Outdoor Field. Lefty on lefty. And the 1-0 pitch. Fastball, the eye on the outside corner. The count is 1 ball and 1 strike. He has not given up an earned run in 27 of his 30 appearances this year. The outfield has stepped deep in a few strides the other way against the left-hand batting Tyler Kuhn, who began the night 5th in the league in hitting at .352. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball outside, and the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hinshaw has been especially tough against left-hand batters. Left-hand batters this season against Alex Hinshaw, just 3 for 45 and .067 average. Kuhn a slightly open stance. Hinshaw ready up high. The 1-2 pitch. Swinging a line drive towards right field. Amberson going over. Won't get it. It's in for a base hit. Amberson dives to stop it as Kuhn makes a wide turn. Amberson got to his feet. He throws to second, and Kuhn will hold with a base hit. Tyler Kuhn comes through on a 1-2 count against the former big leaguer Alex Hinshaw. Yanks a single to right on a breaking pitch. It's his 3rd hit of the game, and that'll bring the tying run to the plate in Casey Harther. Now, righties have fared a little bit better against Hinshaw this year. Righties are hitting .262. And the only home run given up by Hinshaw this season was to a right-handed bat. So Harther could tie it with 1 swing, 0 for 3 with an RBI ground out tonight. 11 homers on the year. And he came into the game hitting .549 against left-hand pitching. Kuhn with good speed on first. And the first pitch. Bounced in front, it gets away from Dean. Kuhn heading for second. That'll get there standing up with a wild pitch. Dean took a while to track that ball down. Kuhn made the turn. He will hold at second base. That's big because now it takes away a chance at a double play. Reggie Abercrombie still looking to extend his hitting streak to 18 in a row, waits on deck. And Navarez begins throwing inside of the Wingnuts bullpen down the right field line. Hinshaw drafted by the San Francisco Giants 3 different times, the final time in 2005, a 15th round pick out of San Diego State University. He would first get to the majors in 2008. He appeared in 48 games and had an ERA of 3.40 over 39 2/3 innings. Went back to the Giants in 2009 and then split 2012 with the Padres and the Chicago Cubs. He has 90 big league appearances to his credit, all in relief. Left-hand pitcher, right-hand batter. The tying run in the box. And the 1-0 pitch. Fastball just outside. And the count is 2 balls and no strikes on Casey Harder. That fastball clocked at 88 miles an hour. We mentioned this coming into this series that both Navarez and Hinshaw have been worked extremely hard within the last week and a half. Wichita has played a lot of close games. They have come out on the long side on most of them. Navarez and Hinshaw have pitched a lot here recently. See if the Goldeyes can try and take advantage of that. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Fastball low and outside, and it's now 3-0, and Hinshaw is in danger of walking the tying run on base for another former big leaguer on deck in Reggie Abercrombie. Brandon Lafferty is now warming up inside of the Goldeyes pen. It's 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Wingnuts. 2 runs, 7 hits, and no errors for the Goldeyes. Navarez just playing light catch. Wichita's hoping that Hinshaw can recover here in the bottom half of the 8th. See if Harder takes at least one. Hinshaw is ready. And the pitch. Outside ball 4. The tying runs are on base. A 4-pitch walk to Casey Harder. And now Reggie Abercrombie will step up. Reggie tonight 0 for 2. He's grounded a third, struck out, and drawn a walk. He is looking to extend his hitting streak to 18 in a row. Tyler Kuhn is on second. Casey Harder is the tying run on first. Now Matt Navarez begins throwing actual warm-up pitches down the right field line. Abercrombie, a right-hand batter, could give the Goldeyes the lead with a home run. He has 15 of those this year, most on the club, and tied for 4th in the American Association. He crowds the plate from the right side. Hinshaw looks back at second. And the first pitch, swing and a miss, a back foot slider with nasty movement. So Abercrombie was looking for the first pitch, fastball. Hinshaw threw the breaking pitch low and inside, and Reggie swung over the top. Abercrombie, very good numbers against left-hand pitchers, 18 out of 52, a .346 average. Trying to keep the rally going here in the bottom half of the 8th. Wingnuts infield not quite at double play depth. Corey, the shortstop, is a couple steps in the hole. Cahalileo shaded towards the second base bag. Hinshaw comes set. And the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at a slider down and in. Another good block by Brent Dean as that ball hit the dirt. So the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes. Another right-hand power bat on deck in Josh Mazzola. Goldeyes had a 1-0 lead. The Wingnuts would go in front of a couple of solo homers in the 5th and 6th. Blackwood tied it with a homer in the bottom of the 7th. Before Cahalileo came up with a 2-out, 2-run double in the top of this inning. 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Bottom half of the 8th. 0-2 on Reggie Abercrombie. Hinshaw comes to a high set. Checks the runner on second, Tyler Kuhn. The pitch and a high fly ball to left field, pretty deep. Back goes Lucci onto the track, leaps, and he makes the catch at the top of the wall. Kuhn tags at second, on his way to third, and he gets there standing up. Abercrombie reached over the plate and he hooked a slider high and deep to left into the wind. Jake Lucci with a leaping grab at the top of the fence takes away an extra base hit. It does get Tyler Kuhn to third base. Good 2-strike swing there by Reggie Abercrombie. Now the Goldeyes could get at least 1 run back and a deep fly. Here's Josh Mazzola tonight 0 for 3. Harder, the all-important tying run, is still on first. Mazzola 0 for 3 with a ground out to third, a fly out to right, and he's hit into a fielder's choice. He represents the go-ahead run on the plate. 9 homers on the season for Josh Mazzola, 7 in his last 43 contests. Outfield playing him deep. and out towards left center field. Right-hand batter, wide open stance. Hinshaw checks on Harther. And the first pitch, fastball high and outside, 90 miles an hour. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Hinshaw, during his time in the major league, strikeouts against numerous high-profile all-stars. Adrian Gonzalez, Jay Bruce, Todd Frazier, Prince Fielder, Matt Kemp, Ivan Rodriguez, Scott Rowland, Josh Hamilton, and Yadier Molina, among others. Spent 3 years in the majors, mostly with the Giants. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss at a fastball down low. Big cut by Mazzola. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Wingnuts 4, Goldeyes 2. We're in the bottom half of the 8th. Kuhn single leading off, and then Harther after Kuhn went to second on a wild pitch to a 4-pitch walk. Hinshaw got Abercrombie in the deep fly out to left, just shy of a 3-run homer. Mazzola waits. And the 1-1 pitch, way outside of the fastball, 89 miles an hour. So Alex Hinshaw, who has had very good command this season, has been just a little bit off. Mazzola ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. On deck is Jake Blackman, who has a home run in this game for the Winnipeg Goldeyes. Tyler Kuhn is on third. Casey Harther, the tying run, is on first, held by David Espinoza. Matt Navarre is just about ready if needed for a long save. The 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball low, and it's now 3 balls and a strike. So Hinshaw threw a slider behind in the count. Now it's 3-1. A walk would move the tying run in a scoring position, and it would put the go-ahead run on base. And Mazzola can sit on whatever pitch he wants in this situation. 3-1 with 1 down. Hinshaw off the third base side of the rubber. Gets the sign for the catcher, Brent Dean. Dean sets up outside. Hinshaw with a look at first. The 3-1 pitch and a high fly ball, pretty deep left. Back goes Lucci by the warning track. Lucci there makes the catch. Kuhn will tag a third. He comes in to score. The throw goes to second. It's a sacrifice fly and a run batted in for Josh Mazzola. And the Goldeyes slice the lead of 4-3 in the bottom half of the 8th inning. So a second straight hitter comes just shy of a homer. Mazzola drove it well and in the air to left field. And Lucci catches that ball right around the front part of the running track. Mazzola with his 46th RBI this season. So Winnipeg does cash in the runner from third with less than 2 outs. Tying run is still on first. And now Jake Blackwood steps to the plate. Blackwood 2 for 3 in the bottom half of the last inning. Leading off against the starting pitcher, Frank Del Valle, on a 3-1 count. He slugged his 6th homer of the year, a line drive that had plenty of distance behind it, and it had just enough height to clear the left center field wall. 1 on and 2 out. Blackwood, a right-handed batter. Hinshaw from the stretch. Fastball on the outside corner, 0-1. That's the best fastball thrown by Hinshaw in this inning. Good location, knee-high on the outside edge to get ahead. So Tyler Kuhn comes home and a sac fly from Josh Mazzola. Wingnuts 4, Goldeyes 3 in the bottom half of the 8th. Harther with a shorter lead at first. Espinoza keeping him close. And the 0-1 pitch. Hit foul off to the right side. A little bit late on an 89-mile-an-hour fastball. And the count goes to 0-2. Wichita's 2 lefties schedule a bat second and third in the next inning. Testa and McLennan. So Lafferty is still throwing. Cleveland is set to lead off. So perhaps Chris Kissick will begin the top of the 9th. Alex Hinshaw ahead of Jake Blackwood. No balls and 2 strikes. Blackwood has homered twice in the last 3 games. Tying run on first. Hinshaw checks on Harther. The 0-2 pitch. Little looper towards shallow right. Charging in is Amberson. Still coming on, and Amberson makes the catch. And the side is retired. The Goldeyes get 1. There is 1 hit and 1 left on base. End of 8 innings here at Shaw Park. It's Wichita 4 and Winnipeg 3 on Jewel 101.
Things you'll never hear a Cambrian Credit Union member say.
Oh, I just love paying service fees.
My high mortgage rate is amazing.
Yes, I'll pay $1.50 to use this ATM.
With Cambrian Credit Union's great rates and free banking through the UnFee, Cambrian members won't say these things. With a full range of hassle-free financial services, they're here for Manitobans. Cambrian Credit Union, building strong financial foundations for making dreams come true.
Here's the pitch, and
It's a grand slam! Here they come. Cans, juice boxes, glass and plastic bottles, into the bin!
The Winnipeg Goldeyes and Recycle Everywhere want you to swing for the fences and recycle all your empty beverage containers. They're full of potential and have thousands of uses beyond the landfill. Step up to the plate and pitch your drink containers into a recycling bin. Whether you're at home, work, school, or the ballpark, remember to recycle everywhere.
Hey, you're looking red and shiny today.
It's just the burger sweats, babe.
That's not normal.
Nah, it's cool. I read the nutrition fact things like you said. I've got enough sodium for like 3 days.
It's easy to make the healthy choice at Jugo Juice. Jugo Juice smoothies are made with real fruit and veggies, 100% fruit juice with no added sugar, and no sorbet fillers or purees. So whatever you order, it's loaded with the good stuff. Stop by Jugo Juice at Shaw Park or Polo Park.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball.
This is Nick Hernandez, and you're listening to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Jewel 101.
Top of the ninth inning here at Shaw Park. The Goldeyes got one back, scratching out the run on the Josh Mazzola sacrifice fly. Not once, but twice. Winnipeg was just shy of a 3-run homer. First, Reggie Abercrombie pulled a breaking ball to deep left. That was caught by Jake Lucci with a leaping catch at the top of the wall, and then Josh Mazzola with a deep fly to left field. That was caught by Lucci in a more conventional manner. Chris Kissick, who got the last out of the 8th, will stay on to face Brent Cleveland. You would imagine Kissick will stay on just for the one-hitter with 2 lefties to follow in Testa and McClendon, and Brennan Lafferty ready to go inside the Goldeyes pen. 4-3 Wingnuts are in the top of the 9th. Another great game between these two clubs, the two winningest teams in the league this year and over the last 4 since the Goldeyes joined the American Association. The first pitch, fastball just outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Well, Matt Navarez and his mid to high 90s fastball staying loose in the bullpen. He was getting ready in case Hinshaw got into further trouble in the bottom of the 8th, but Hinshaw was able to escape the inning on his own. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball outside, and it's now 2 balls and no strikes. The Goldeyes will send up Allen, Pineda, and Bond 8, 9, and 1 in the bottom half of the 9th. Cleveland 1 for 3 and another home run. A long shot to left center back in the top of the 5th. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swinging a high fly ball deep right field. Back goes Pineda onto the track, back near the wall, and it's off the top of the fence, down in play. Cleveland heading for second, and he gets there standing up with a double. Brent Cleveland showing off opposite field power in a bid for an opposite field homer, and hit off the fence and came down on the track as Ryan Pineda fired back to the infield. So now Wichita trying to rebuild the insurance run. Rick Forney will come out with Brennan Lafferty ready to go. He makes the call for the lefty, and we'll tell you more about him after this on Jewel 101.
I've always been active, but when I started putting on weight and feeling tired and even avoiding family activities, no one could tell me what was wrong. I was concerned. A friend suggested I see his chiropractor. She developed a plan that involved changes in what I was eating, lifestyle, exercise, and spinal health. Seeing me more active, the rest of my family have started their own plan. Thanks to my chiropractor for making my life better.
Manitoba Chiropractors, making life better.
Great golf is just minutes away at Bell Acres Golf and Country Club. Golf 9 or 18 holes on one of the finest championship-style courses in Manitoba. And don't forget to ask about their seasonal memberships. But there's more than just great golf at Bell Acres. Book your next event in their fantastic banquet room. With a friendly staff, fantastic view, and room for up to 220 people. It's perfect for weddings, corporate events, and tournaments. Discover great golf and more at Bell Acres Golf and Country Club. Just 20 minutes from downtown Winnipeg. Visit bellacres.com.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball.
This is Ryan Pineda, and you're listening to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Jewel 101.
This pitching change is brought to you by Johnson Waste Management. Call 452-0909. Left-hander Brennan Lafferty will make his league-leading 45th appearance of the year, now on pace for 57, which would tie an American Association record. Lafferty 0-2 with 2 saves and an ERA of 2.61, 38 innings pitched, 32 hits, 21 walks, 41 strikeouts, opponents hitting .222 against Brendan Lafferty. He pitched the 8th inning last night, allowing the solo shot to Brent Cleveland down the left field line to tie the game. And Lafferty here takes over for Chris Kissick after Cleveland doubled off Kissick to right field. So it's a runner on second and nobody out. Two lefties coming up, Carlo Testa and Chris McClendon, and then the catcher Brent Dean to follow. Brennan Lafferty, 6'4", 185 pounds, a 28-year-old left-hander from Riverside, California. So Lafferty appearing for a 45th time. We mentioned earlier, part of our trivia question, that the league record for appearances in one season is held by two Wichita pitchers done in the same year. Jared Simon, a righty, and Nick Walters, a lefty, in 2012. Prior to that, the record was 54 appearances. That was done by left-hander Dustin Pease, of course, a former Winnipeg Goldeye. He also did that as a member of Wichita during the 2010 season. Pease had two very good years under Rick Forney and was taught to throw a sidearm by Goldeyes hitting coach Tom Vaith, all of them from the Baltimore, Maryland area. So it's a runner on second and nobody out. Corners pitch in. Testa pushes a bunt towards third. Blackwood fields. He sets and throws to first, and it's just in time to get Testa, who was busting down the line. So Testa gets the sacrifice down, 5-3, third baseman to first baseman. And that'll put Brent Cleveland on third with one away for Chris McClendon. McClendon 1 for 3 with a single and a stolen base. He's popped a short and grounded out to second. It's a huge run for both teams here. The Wingnuts are trying to re-extend the lead to 2. The Goldeyes are trying to stay within 1 to give themselves a fighting chance against Matt Navarez in the bottom half of the ninth. McClendon, a left-hand batter against left-hand pitching this season, 12 out of 46, a .261 average. Taylor Seward already warming up behind Brennan Lafferty inside the Winnipeg bullpen. Left-hand pitcher, left-hand batter. The infield is in at all 4 positions. Lafferty's first pitch. Breaking ball misses low and away. It's 1 ball and no strikes. McClendon on the year, a .377 hitter with men in scoring position. Right now he's just looking for a long fly ball. Cleveland has excellent speed and could score in something into the medium part of the outfield. Goldeyes with a strong arm in left in Donnie Webb and a strong arm in center in Reggie Abercrombie. Ryan Pineda, we know he's got a good arm in right, having played infield for much of this year. Swinging a line drive foul off the screen just to the left of the Goldeyes dugout. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. A back and forth game, and things changing hands a couple times here over the last 2 innings. The big hit right now, a 2-out, 2-run double to left center from Jake Cahalileo in the top half of the 8th. Goldeyes got one back in the Mazzola sac fly in the bottom half, and right now it's 4-3 Wingnuts in the top of the 9th. Cleveland on third and 1 away. Lafferty set at the belt. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball just low, 90 miles an hour. And the count goes to 2-1. Lafferty hoping for a punch out here, a grounder at one of the infielders, or a pop fly that is not deep enough for Cleveland to tag up and score. McClendon crowds the plate from the left side. He's driven in 34 runs this season, and he is now 15 of 16 in stolen bases. Allen setting up away. The 2-1 pitch. Fastball on the outside corner at the knees. That was the same pitch, and this time Lafferty gets the call. McClendon thought it was low. Now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lafferty with that great changeup. He'll throw it even to left-handed batters. Navarez continues to throw down the right field line. Seward continues to throw down the left field line. Cleveland the runner on third with 1 away. Lafferty is ready. The 2-2 to McClendon. Swing and a miss. He got him on a changeup, and there's 2 men down. Brennan Lafferty with an enormous strikeout. That keeps Cleveland at third. Now there's 2 away. McClendon down on strikes for only the 31st time in 59 games this season. Now Brent Dean will step up, and now Lafferty can use the entire field to throw up a 0 here in the top of the 9th. Dean is 0 for 3. He's grounded out to third and flied out twice to right field. Chris Kissick goes a third of an inning plus. 1 hit, no walks, no strikeouts. He threw 7 pitches, and he is responsible for Brent Cleveland on third base. 4-3 Wichita here in the top of the 9th. Left-hand pitcher, right-hand batter. And the first pitch to Dean. Change up on the outside corner. 0-1. Dean in his brief time with the Wingnuts, 3 for 9 against left-hand pitchers. It's 4 runs, 8 hits, and no errors for the Wingnuts. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Goldeyes. Outfield medium depth and a couple of steps to left. Again, 8, 9, and 1 due up for Winnipeg in the bottom of the 9th. Allen, Pineda, and Bond. Lafferty is ready. And the 0-1 pitch. Change up. That one's low and outside of the count. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ethan Hollingsworth went 7 2/3 on 3 days of rest. 4 earned runs, 7 hits, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts, throwing 111 pitches. He was outstanding and is on the short end right now, this 4-3 score. Dean with a straight stance from the right side of the plate. The 1-1, thought about a bunt, and he takes a fastball just outside. Good pitch by Lafferty, and now it's 2-1. Dean squared around, thought briefly about trying to squeeze home Cleveland with 2 outs. And brought in Jake Blackwood for a step, and he's going to go back to usual depth. 2 balls and a 1 strike. Blackwood playing near the line at third. Lafferty is ready. And the pitch, changeup stays high. So now it's 3 balls and a strike. Don't have to throw a fastball here to Brent Dean. A couple of bases are open. A right-hand batter is on deck, and David Amberson. Taylor Stewart just about ready if needed. Right now it's Lafferty facing the catcher, Brent Dean. Cleveland on third and 2 men down. Allen will set up outside. Lafferty ready. And the 3-1 pitch. Line drive down the right field line. Slicing foul. An 89-mile-an-hour fastball. Dean with a good swing the other way, and he was a tick late. And now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Lafferty can throw either that fastball or changeup here. Again, a walk wouldn't kill you in this spot with first and second base open. And after that swing by Dean on the fastball, see if Lafferty throws the changeup with a full count. He's done it plenty of times this year to get third strikes. Cleveland on third, a short lead. 4-3 Wichita, top of the 9th inning. Game 3 of this 4-game series. Lafferty comes set. The 3-2 pitch, and it's in there for a called strike 3, and the inning is over. Brendan Lafferty locks up Brent Dean with a 3-2 changeup. Back-to-back strikeouts to Ben Cleveland at third, and he keeps the Goldeyes within a run. No runs, 1 hit and 1 left on base. Last chance coming up for Winnipeg. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning here at Shaw Park. It's the Wingnuts 4 and the Goldeyes 3 on Jewel 101.
Go to bostonpizza.com and finger cook a meal the whole family will love. Don't waste your precious time cooking when you don't have to. We know you've got more important things to do, like watching sports highlights, stopping your kids from bumping into stuff, or simply taking a break from napping. And with over 100 menu items to choose from, everyone can get exactly what they want. To order, call 925-4111 or finger cook today at bostonpizza.com.
Boys never outgrow their need for toys. The toys just get bigger. Metro Center, Winnipeg store for all things trailer, can help you take your toys anywhere you want to go. Trailers, parts, hitches, Metro Center has it all. Plus, you'll earn Air Miles reward miles with every purchase. Over 4,000 square feet of trailer parts, truck accessories, online ordering, knowledgeable staff, trailer service. Everything you need to haul your toys is at your Winnipeg trailer store. Metro Center, 620 Nairn. Visit metrotrailers.ca.
Most days, you can predict what life's going to throw at you.
He's 2 for 2 at bat so far today.
But every once in a while...
Strike! Oh, he did not see that coming.
When life throws you a curveball, Ranger Insurance will protect what's important to you. Whether it's home, life, auto, or commercial, they have a plan that fits your needs. Ranger Insurance, putting relationships first. For the protection you deserve, visit rangerinsurance.ca.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball on Jewel 101.
Bottom of the 9th inning at Shaw Park. The Winnipeg Goldeyes will try for some 9th inning magic. They trail by a score of 4-3 to the Wichita Wingnuts in Game 3 of this 4-game series. And Winnipeg will have to try and come back once again here against Matt Navarez, who touched 97 miles an hour last night, getting out of the bases loaded 1-out jam. It'll be 8-9-1. Luis Allen, Ryan Pineda, and Brock Bond. Pitching changes brought to you by Johnson Waste Management. Call 452-0909. Navarre's 33 games this year, all in relief. 4-0, 21 saves, second most in the league. An ERA of 1.69. 32 innings, 26 hits, 12 walks, 40 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .224. Against the hard-throwing right-hander Matt Navarez. Allen 1 for 3, a line out, a ground ball double play, and a single to left field that chased down starter Frank Del Valle. First pitch, fastball high and outside, 93 miles an hour for ball 1. Navarez, 6'5", 250 pounds, now 27 years old. Born in Mission Hills, California, resides in Goodyear, Arizona in the offseason. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Outside and low with a fastball, and it's now 2 balls and no strikes. Navarez, a fastball, a cut fastball he developed this year, which has been a good change of pace. He'll also throw a true slider, and he'll throw the occasional changeup. Big righty working out of the stretch, a high set, and the 2-0 pitch. Cutter on the outside corner. That is almost an unhittable pitch, 91 miles an hour, cutting across the outside part of the plate. Now it's 2-1. Navarez has not given up a home run this season. Allen has hit 4 on the year. Righty against righty. And the 2-1 pitch. Cutter on the outside corner at the knees. That one looked a little bit low. So now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Outstanding job by Brennan Lafferty in the top of this inning. He had a runner on 3rd and 1 out and struck out Chris McLennan and Brent Dean back-to-back to give the Goldeyes a chance here, trailing by 1 run. 2-2 on Luis Allen. Navarez comes set. Now the pitch. Swinging a looper towards second. Cahalalio is there, and he makes the catch. Another cutter from Matt Navarez. Allen reached over, flicked it off the end of the bat, and it started to faint as Cahalalio moved to his right. There's 1 man down in the bottom half of the 9th. Last night, Navarez gave up a leadoff single to Jake Blackwood, and on Sam Kimmel's sacrifice bunt attempt, Navarez threw the ball away at first. Now was followed by a bunt by Ryan Pineda, who is stepping to the plate. The Wingnuts elected to intentionally walk Brock Bond, and Navarez came back and struck out Webb and Kuhn back-to-back to win the game. Pineda 0 for 2. He's fly to right and struck out swinging, and he has also drawn a walk. The first pitch. Cutter taken on the outside corner for a strike, and the count is 0-1. Now when clocked at 86 miles an hour, Navarez actually looking sharper tonight than he did in last night's game. He is pitching for a 5th time in the last 7 days since the return from the All-Star break. 1 out and nobody on. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball low, 91 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike. Goldeyes only down by 1 run. Pineda has hit 3 homers this season. He has driven in 17 in his last 30 games. 4 runs, 8 hits, and no errors for the Wingnuts. 3 runs, 7 hits, and no errors for the Goldeyes. The 1-1 pitch, fouled off the mask of Brent Dean. And the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Brock Bond, a switch hitter, is waiting on deck. Bond never got the chance to hit against Navarez due to the intentional walk last night. He'll get a chance here. All the Goldeyes on the top step of the dugout. The Wingnuts that are on the bench are doing the same on the first base side. A playoff-type atmosphere here the last 3 nights. Right-hander against right-hander. The 1-2 to Pineda. Cutter taken just outside. And now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. That one just missing off the plate. That is such a tough pitch for both right-hand and left-hand batters. For the righties, looks like that fastball is coming in down a straight plane, and then all of a sudden it slides across the plate with high velocity. For the lefties, it comes in on the hands. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him on a cutter off the plate. 92 miles an hour. 2 outs and nobody on here in the bottom half of the 9th. And the last note for the Goldeyes will be second baseman Brock Bond, a switch hitter. He mentioned he was intentionally walked with 2nd and 3rd and 1 out last night. Here he'll get a chance against Matt Navarez. Bond is 0 for 3 in this game. 2 ground outs to third, a line out to short, and he has drawn a walk. Wingnuts 4, Goldeyes 3 in the bottom half of the 9th. Outfield shading Bond a couple of steps the other way. The first pitch, swing and a miss at a slider low and inside. That's the first slider thrown by Navarez, a back footer, and he got Bond to swing over the top. So the count is 0-1. Really have not seen many 4-seam fastballs other than the first 2 pitches to Luis Allen. It's been cutters and sliders ever since. The 0-1 pitch, line the other way foul, and the Goldeyes are down to their final strike. 0-2 on Brock Bond, trying to get this game to Donnie Webb, who waits on deck. Bond without a homer this year. He'll try and fight his way on base, as he has done so many times for Winnipeg over the last month and a half. 0-2 on Bond. Bases empty, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Goldeyes trailing by a run. Navarez ready, the 0-2 pitch. Fastball high and outside. There's a 4-seamer. 94 miles an hour on the radar gun, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. On as good a 2-strike hitter as there is in this league. He's fanned only 11 times in 42 games entering tonight. Navarro's ready, the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a grounder foul in the right field line. Came in with a cutter and Bond had a pretty good swing. He was just out in front. And it's still 1-2. Bond 3 years in AAA in the San Francisco Giants organization. He was in the Giants organization around the same time that Alex Hinshaw was. Hinshaw worked out of trouble, allowing only 1 run in the bottom half of the 8th. Michael Zuzalik stands to get a win. Ethan Hollingsworth would take a tough loss. Navarro's ready, another 1-2 pitch. High and outside with a changeup. The first changeup thrown by Navarro is 83 miles an hour. And the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Bond has worked the count even after falling in the 0-2 hole. Navarro's quickly comes set. The 2-2 pitch. Line drive foul the other way. Navarez came with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and Bond was able to get a piece. This is one of the best at-bats the Goldeyes have had against Navarez over the last 2 nights. Winnipeg has never seen Navarez. He's in his 3rd year with the Wingnuts, but had never actually faced the Goldeyes. Pitched for them in 2011 and 2012. Another 2-2 pitch. Popped him up towards short. Ryan Corey moving to his right. Just in front of the outfield grass. Makes the catch. And the ball game is over. Matt Navarez works a 1-2-3 bottom of the 9th inning. And the Wingnuts take a 2nd straight 1-run game from the Goldeyes. They win this one by a final score of 4-3. Brock Bond with a good battle at the plate. And pops out of the shortstop Ryan Corey. And the Wingnuts have taken the first 3 games of this 4-game series at Shaw Park. In the 9th, no runs, no hits, and nobody left on base. Our final score at Shaw Park, it's the Wichita Wingnuts 4 and the Winnipeg Goldeyes 3. Back with the Sports Select post-game show after this on Jewel 101.
Thanks for listening to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball. Stay tuned.